so hyper normal that you clearly want to fuck your daughter? There's.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
Good to go? Yep. It's another edition
We're
of...
gonna get canceled again this episode.
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. We are back, despite our best efforts. I gotta be honest, we thought we were gonna be canceled. Not only were we not canceled, I didn't see a word of criticism.
People largely agree with us
I think
about the dogs.
that people are afraid
100%.
to voice their opinions about how silly dog culture is, and we were just the brave ones who did it.
100%.
I didn't see one bit of criticism.
I didn't see one person call me a
I
monster.
saw some people tagging, Rhea when she posted a dog. I saw some people tagging Bailey Carlin because literally all Bailey does is tweet all day about, like, show me your dogs, which is specifically what we said we hate. But nobody was like, fuck you, I can't believe you said that about dogs, because I guess what? What we said about dogs is just dead ass true.
100%.
Not what we said about dogs. What we said about dog people.
Dog people.
There's a
Different.
huge
Dog.
difference.
I like your dog.
Right. I don't like you
Kind of.
talking about your
Most
dog.
of the I don't know. I don't really give a shit about your dog.
Same thing.
But
It's kids.
it was when
kids
it's
and
forced
dogs.
upon me.
Yes.
That's the issue.
It's really what it comes down to is this. I like my dog. I am indifferent towards your dog. And
Yeah, I don't dislike your dog.
right. But I
I
just
just
like
I just
it's
don't
not
need to see a
mine.
picture of it.
I don't need to talk about your dog or my dog.
Again, posting it on social media is okay.
But here's
That's
here-
fine.
Okay, but
I
here's the
get
difference.
that.
Here's the
I mean,
difference.
I literally did it as kind of a joke last night, but like I literally did it last night.
And then we have Camille Kostek on the show today, and she pulls a puppy up onto the camera and fights. It's like, oh, it's a cute puppy.
yeah, well, it's Camille Kostek.
You gotta say what you gotta say. But here's what it really boils down to is I don't like you if you expect me to have a reaction. Sorry,
If
a
I
reaction
have to
to
stop
your dog.
my day, to
Yeah.
like I don't.
I don't need to respond to react to your dog. I don't need to help you through your day with my dog. That's really what it's all about. Is keeping your dog reaction to a reasonable extent. And I think everybody agreed.
Yep, I think so.
You know what else I think this says? I think that it says we are a billion years into this, at least somewhat better at articulating our points, because in the past we would have just been like, fuck dogs!
Yeah.
And then we would have to be like, no, I don't mean fuck dogs. I mean, So I think we extensively described what we don't like, or nobody's listened to our podcast. Or nobody heard, and there's no reaction. But
Anyway, so Nick Cannon, I think he made a lot of good points.
you're speaking a lot of truths there, Nick Cannon. Proud Nubian, Jewish, Semite. with
I'm kidding.
melanin.
I'm just kidding. I don't think he made good points. I'm just kidding.
I slept on my pillow last night, and I ate a can of Goya beans this morning for breakfast, because those are just superior products endorsed by a great man. And I think
Oh my
these guys, I think there are certain people in this world who have just figured out a hack. They just figured out a life hack where it's just if you talk good about Donald Trump, they will market the fuck out of your product.
Big time.
You want to get a free billboard, just tell Donald Trump you like him, bro. So Donald, I'm Kevin Clancy from the KFC Radio podcast on Barstool Sports. I fucking love you. You made America great again. I love your hats. I love your suits. I think you can walk down.
Big fan. I think
you can walk down ramps great. I think you drink water very, very proficiently.
I think that picture in the Oval Office with the beans is not a crazy thing to do at all.
I think it's so hyper normal that you clearly want to fuck your daughter. There is nothing weird about the fact that there is an endless highlight reel of videos of you saying if she wasn't your daughter, you'd have sex with her. Totally normal, dude. I totally get it.
Just promote us, please. Say KFC Radio is the best.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, bro. Download, rate. Imagine if Donald Trump had a video like Tuesdays and Thursdays. Download, rate, review, and subscribe. Totally great. It's a totally great podcast.
It is.
Am I the asshole?
Yo.
Videos, voicemails. It's great.
I mean, there's just a straight up picture of you posing with waffles, man. That's a normal thing.
Dude, how about the one with Ivanka? She's standing like she's on The Price is Right. She's like,
And
look at this.
On The Price
Honestly,
is Right with a gun pointed at her head.
That she legit looks like a Barker's Beauty, where you'd have to be like, well, I don't know, Drew. I think that's $2.99. Nah, it's $3.25. You're out. I mean, that is some Vanna White or some Barker's Beauty type shit right there.
Oh God.
And Goya is, half the people are boycotting and not eating their Goya beans or whatever, and the other half are gonna eat literally nothing but Goya beans now. You got the MAGA crowd who's gonna for breakfast, lunch, and dinner just
I'm gonna
Goya.
shit my pants because Donald Trump said so.
Shit my pants to own the libs. Eat nothing but baked beans to own the libs.
I'm gonna eat a bunch of beans and take a big fat shit in my pants.
Make America great again. Wow, listening to KFC radio. Honestly, how much money would it take, or what level of if I could tell you right now that we would be like on the Joe Rogan level or the Call Her Daddy level if we were just like full blown Donald Trump sellouts and endorsers, would you do it?
Honestly, it's a good question. Part of me wants to say yes, but part of me, I see people who do that, and I'm like, you're fucking
you suck,
bullshit.
right?
Like, you're a
Well,
liar. Not even like I don't think you suck. I just think like you don't believe what you're saying.
Oh, I
And
don't care
think
about
you're-
that.
And I think
I don't care about that.
See, I that bothers me. Like
I
I
would prefer
genuinely
not to, but if cash rules.
when I just don't like it when people say things that I'm like, I know you're lying.
Right.
Like that.
Okay,
I think
but
that's fucking
say
bullshit.
you're that person all of a sudden in this scenario, right? And there are people at home who are quietly just like, man, that John Feidelberg, he just says whatever. Does that affect your life?
No.
Are you losing sleep at night when you're laying down on your MyPillow? That you're like
with my diaper because I ate too many Goya beans for dinner.
black frijoles.
I think it would. I honestly think it would bother me.
Yeah.
I think
that's
that's
not
the
the
only
aspect
thing
that
I have
bothers
to
me.
grab onto.
I
that,
think
like,
if it was any other political time where it was not like the racism being mixed in, where it's like there are people who think that like you are a hateful racist, that would be a problem for me. Whereas if it was just like I don't agree with your politics, let's say this was George Bush, or you go back a few campaigns, a few presidential elections, like I don't care if you disagree with my politics if I'm cashing in. But the fact that there would be people like if you told me I had to walk around wearing like a George W. hat and all that shit, I'd be like, all right, fine, whatever. You don't like me because of the politics. But you walk around with like a MAGA hat, and there are people who think,
oh, you can't wear red hats anymore.
That's what I mean.
Right,
Like,
red
that's
hats
the problem.
it's great. You know what a dickhead you have to be to just rule out red hats.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole
Gone.
and by the way, it's not like red is just it's a pretty big color.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's a primary color,
It's
Kevin.
not like it was he took like Dave made the turquoise color like his.
Yeah.
You don't wear that every day or whatever. Red. It's one of the main three. It's one of the big ones. I mean, I guess credit to him. The other direction is like he now owns red.
Right.
Red used to be a pretty big color for all sorts of flags and countries and everything. Now it's just Donald's.
That's true.
He should have. Looking back, he should have made it orange, right? Orange is Donald's color.
Well, because of his skin.
Yeah. Like when you think of Donald, you think of orange. He should have just leaned into it and made it
I think
orange
you're right.
hat.
I think
Well, now
I
do.
think
Yeah,
he
yeah,
grabbed
you're
red.
right,
I
you're
think
right.
he took it.
Which is a big, that's big branding right
Yeah,
there.
that's
why I'm saying, bro, if we could get like an official color of KFC radio, just get all that fucking MAGA money, I will cash all
pro
of those
Goya,
checks.
pro Trump, pro My Pillow. Even though you wear your necklace outside your shirt like a lunatic. What other things do we like?
Guns?
They're few. Guns, yeah.
Guns?
There aren't many. That's why I think this is a good idea.
Yeah,
Because there really aren't many of them.
It's like he has the food and beans. He has like the household product and the pillow. He's got the guns, and then like his form of entertainment, his choice of entertainment,
KFC Radio.
KFC radio.
Yeah.
And also, I don't think he's got it like this. I don't think he's got the clout. But if Joe Biden would like to get in the mix, like we're for sale. I will be. You know what else I like to do? I like to touch my female family members in weird ways. Let's go, Joe. Let's do it. I forget how to speak all the time. Also, I don't know words.
I like to eat ice cream in ice cream shops with motorcyclists. Have you ever seen that picture? Yeah. It's one of my favorite pictures of all time.
Well, you know what? It's funny. It's much like Donald Trump. Donald Trump used to be entertaining, funny in like a ridiculous way.
I actually don't. I disagree with that. I never found him particularly entertaining.
I think he used to be entertaining.
I mean,
when like You're Fired was like at its peak, and he was just being like it was never like this clever, witty humor. It was just like he's a bombastic, fucking ridiculous person that I could laugh at because it didn't really matter. Same thing with like Joe Biden. I used to like Cool Joe, like Uncle Dumb Joe. It's like funny. And now it's like, well, I want you to be the president.
Well, it's actually, we were talking about the other day that in New Girl, first of all, by the way, everything New Girl goes viral. It's crazy. I just tweeted the other day that Nick
People
Miller
love
had
it.
hot girlfriends. Like 10,000 favorites. Like, it's
By the
like
way, who's the one though? I know there's one in there that I didn't know.
Olivia Munn.
Yeah, no, but who's the other girl? The other one. So there was Megan Fox.
Olivia Munn. Lizzie Kaplan.
Yes.
Who looks like Kristen Ritter, who I always get confused, but they're the same. They're
Yes.
both
She's from The
gorgeous.
Interview also?
The
Honey Pot Girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. She is an underrated smoke.
Yeah, Lizzie Kaplan's a weapon.
Flies under the radar
Big
big time. But yeah, I think New Girl is maybe the new age.
Oh, but anyway, I'm sorry. The reason I brought all that up was in an episode of New Girl, they call it bidening, which is they're trying to ask like, what's her name? Jess.
Girls, right?
Jess is trying to ask like how she can land a guy, and they're like, just be there. When he dances, be there. When he's at the bar, be there. And eventually, he'll get you. We call it bidening. And I'm like, that was 6 years ago, or however long ago it was. And it's like, oh yeah, that's who has the nomination now.
He has
was
been
just there.
He's done it literally with women, and he's done it with politics. He's just
Yeah, I don't even
he's
know what
always
the
there.
joke's about because it applies to everything. But like, I thought it was politically. I guess yes, it also counts to women just being there.
He's just always around women, always touching them, leaning into them, hugging them, kissing them. But yeah, he just don't die. You know,
Don't
get
die.
into politics and hang on for dear life and don't die. And eventually they'll be like, well, he's next in line. I guess he's got to be president now.
Been there forever.
It's crazy
Time's
that he's probably gonna be president. That's nuts. That guy's a dummy. He is a dummy. I mean, your boy Kanye dropped out, so now
Oh, what a shocking
can't
piece of
believe
idea
it.
that was.
So
Piece of news that was.
Kanye is no longer in the presidential race, which means we're now down to 2 people with mental disabilities who are going to be president. We're going to have a 3-horse race of mentally deficient people to become president, and now it's back to just good old 2. Thanks, Kanye. But yeah, listen, any of these political parties, we are for sale, bro.
Yeah.
Supposedly he just filed like with the SEC to like join again. Kanye.
Oh God, I'm done with
To
it.
sign up for president again?
Like,
I mean, I can't.
I can't even feign
Look,
interest.
look at that. TMZ. Presidential bid still alive, filed with the FEC. I do not care.
100%. 100% do not give a shit.
You know when everyone was like, I'm moving to Canada. I mean, that sounds good.
Oh, I'm
But,
here.
like, I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it because I'm like defiantly like protesting or whatever. I don't care. I don't care about any of this, and I'd like to be somewhere where they don't talk about it all the time.
I'm
Right?
actually.
You go to other countries. I mean, they talk about it because America's a big deal and Donald Trump's a fucking asshole and all that kind of shit. But like overall, they're just probably not talking about it there, which sounds great.
But they're talking about their own elections.
But then I would go there and not like know them and not care. You know, I liken it to like when you go play baseball in Japan. You don't know any of these cities or any of these fans. You don't really care. You just hit the ball and cash your checks.
cash checks, yeah.
I would just go to Europe and I'll like have a siesta and drink their coffee over there. And like I don't know any of your presidential candidates. And you're not
those
talking
are your
about
big
mine.
2 things, huh? Siestas and coffee.
Coffee, that's what they do in Europe, right? I don't know. Right? I drank when I was in Greece. I drank coffee there. They have weird coffee. I know that much. Weird coffee and naps. Let's go.
I am definitively 100% in my lifetime going to live in Europe. How about that?
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe you're gonna.
Yeah.
When are you gonna
I've
do it?
had this like discussion
I think you're going to do
with
it
my loved
sooner
ones.
than later.
I would do it tomorrow if you would come with me.
Yeah, that's the
So
thing.
we can do the
I
podcast.
think that there will be sooner than later, like the Barstool thing will come to a head with Penn or whatever, and there will be like a moment where it's like, I'm going to Europe. Within 10 years, you will live in Europe.
10 years was the number I put on it.
Yeah. And I said within 10 years. I think 10 years is the latest.
Yeah.
I bet you it'll be like 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because 5 years is like this Penn holding period. And then we'll do something for a couple years after that. And God willing, by then we'll all have a little bit of money in our pocket. And then we'll just
Never
go
talk
live.
to each other ever again.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be so fucking romantic? If we were friends till I was like 40 and you're like 30, whatever, and then we just never talk again.
Never speak
Like
ever.
see you at the funeral. You know? That would be awesome.
It's probably gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna go?
I don't know. I don't care.
But you gotta like when you close your eyes and think you're we're Barcelona.
Well, because I actually weirdly
Ibiza.
have not traveled like in Europe that much. I've been to like weird parts of Europe. Like, I've been to like Salamanca, Spain, and the Czech Republic, but I've never been to like London or Paris. So
Would you just go to another city though? I feel like you should go somewhere that's like, if you go to like London, you're basically living in New York. You know what I mean?
right.
I would go to like
Dude, I
countryside or some
forget
shit.
the name of it. I follow this account where it's like the account name is so weird, but it's something like really nice houses in Europe for cheap prices. Like it's something
at really nice houses in Europe for cheap prices
I
on
forget
Instagram.
exactly what it is, but it's like there's like this awesome house in like the fucking French countryside for like $7,000.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy cheap, and it was like this beautiful, gorgeous cottage on this like unbelievable piece of property. And I was like, I'd fucking live there in a heartbeat.
Yep. You know what gets me all the time? And you know me, I'm not I'm not a big world traveler. I don't feel the need to see things or whatever. But when you see those videos on Twitter, they usually go viral and people being like, sometimes there's not even a caption. It's just a screen. It's just a panoramic shot of these places that are just like beautiful water or mountainside.
See, that doesn't do it for you.
No, that does.
Okay.
That does. And that's where I'm just like, I can't believe that is the same planet. Like I have access to that. I could go there. I could right now.
This
go there.
very second you can go there.
By tomorrow, I could be there. And I sit
Actually,
there.
no,
like,
we can't because I don't think we're allowed anywhere else.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right. Donald Trump trapped us.
As
But-
Americans, I don't think we're allowed anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, that's not even Donald Trump's fault. It's their fault, and I don't blame them. But like I see those, and I'm just like, oh my god, like what I would give to be there. It's like, what would you give? You give like $600 round trip. Like, that's what you would give to get there. And
I sent this to my girlfriend,
and I feel
I'm
like I gotta go.
We have to go here one day.
I love when people like jokingly like put the caption like Staten Island, New York.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, some of those places are just like
I can't believe you don't like.
aesthetically-
We're actually not gonna never talk again. We're gonna get you traveling.
Yeah. Yeah.
That did not seem convincing.
I like the end. I need fucking Elon Musk to step it up and come through.
See, I like everything about
I
traveling.
know. I don't. I don't like
flying,
the
I like
fucking
being in
8-hour plane
airports,
rides. I
all
don't
of it.
like any of that.
You're missing out. We'll just drink on the plane.
Yeah, I know.
You can have like a lot of fun on the plane. You just watch movies and drink.
Yeah.
It's like what I do at home.
Well, I think what I want to do is like I got to get like first class money. Or I will travel, but I want to be like comfortable the whole time.
I'm comfortable in regular seats.
I know it's crazy.
It is weird.
I mean, you have to admit you have like no standards when it comes to things like that.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you can sleep like on a fucking bed of nails. It's like whatever, dude. But yeah, those places like that gets me going. Where it's just like that is available to me, and that's why I always get jealous of the people who just like I live here. I live in like a hut in Hawaii, and that's okay because we always talk about that the fisherman proverb or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, those people are the smart people. And I don't know, and I say this, and I don't do anything about it.
You really want to do
I'm
it.
stuck. You have
I'm
no
afraid.
excuse. You have no excuse.
I'm not gonna make an excuse. I'm gonna go.
I want the Goodwill Hunting moment. I want to show up here on Monday to record, and I don't want you to be here. You ain't got kids, you ain't got a house, you got nothing to worry about. You could just go to like the Blue Lagoon in Italy or some shit.
But I the thing is that sucks is like we will not be able to do that before 2022. I bet I can't leave this country until 2022. And I don't mean permanently. I mean on vacation.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I bet it's 2022 before I can like leave the country.
I think that we lost. I think we got like
To a fun spot.
Yeah.
Maybe technically you can leave. I mean like to go on a full vacation.
Yeah.
I bet it's not for another year.
I think that reality is about to set back in again on people. That like sports, travel, congregating.
Sports aren't
It's all
happening.
about
Stop
to
asking
be
for sports.
fucking canceled for a long time.
Not gonna happen.
I'm on to worrying about 2021.
Yeah.
Like baseball opening day 2021 is in jeopardy as far as I'm concerned.
100%.
And people just
And
don't
again,
seem
and when
to
I say
think it.
100%, I said that with such confidence. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm talking
100%
about.
opinion.
Right.
100% my guess.
Yeah.
But I do think
It's just easier to accept things as like probably not happening rather than hoping for them.
But then I don't know. Like we just on the rundown, we talked about the TBT tournament, which is obviously a very smaller operation, but they lived in a bubble, and like their cases just like went down to 0, and then they played their tournament, and it worked. Now it was dependent upon cooperation, and as Americans, we just don't. It's kind of
Haven't there already been a bunch of calls to the NBA?
like the snitch hotline?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
There's already
These
been,
guys
like-
are just like, I do what I want. But it's not just the NBA and millionaires, because everyone keeps saying that. It's like, well, these guys are used to a certain standard of living, and it's like it's like the hillbillies across the country too, though. They're used to a certain standard of living, and they won't give that up. It's getting a little bit embarrassing. Like, we just, as a country, don't do anything we don't want to do ever. That's crazy.
I actually meant to ask Nick this. Nick, can you put on the Liverpool game? Like, they already have sports in Europe.
Yeah.
Like, they're just
Are the fans
playing
back
soccer.
or no?
No.
Yeah.
No,
But
like,
they're like doing it.
they just have sports again.
Because they were just like, yeah, all right, we'll listen to you.
I don't know if
believe-
I've referenced it on the podcast, but I read an article that was basically interviewing European scientists, and they were talking about how their life, how they did
Yeah.
everything, and they were like, we listened to American scientists. You guys didn't. They were like, I think it was like a German scientist or whatever who like built like the plan in Germany. He was like, I just listened to the Harvard guy. He's like, you guys didn't. I just did.
Like, you guys at Harvard didn't
Right.
listen to the Harvard guy. I believe, looking back, that
You got to put it on.
it will be the
It's
most
not a big deal.
it'll be like the most embarrassing like thing ever in our country. I think that people will look back, foreigners, kids in the next generation, they're reading their textbooks and they're going to be like, but wait, they just didn't want to wear the masks? And I think that will be like the biggest black eye. Forget about slavery and the Holocaust and shit. People just being like, I don't like this, so I'm not going to do it, to the detriment of tens of thousands of people, is fucking insanity.
They just didn't want to wear it.
Yeah, they just so they just were like a little uncomfortable by it, so they didn't do it. And again, I don't want to get into all of it. It's like, I'm not saying that these masks like stop everything, but it's just like, it helps a little bit. So just do it. And people are like, nah, it's my constitutional right not to. But unless you guys like us, in that case, fuck masks. Give me beans. I'm gonna eat beans. I'm gonna rip my mask off and eat my beans.
I got a Goya beans mask.
I'm gonna eat the beans through the mask. I'm gonna waterboard my beans through my mask. Watch KFC Radio. Download it. Rate. Subscribe. What's he? Number 42? 40, what's it? 44? 45? What number is he?
45.
45. MAGA. Today's episode is brought to you by New Amsterdam. Got any of those nips floating around? We got the New Amsterdam vodka that they make. There we go. Yeah, give me some Pink Whitney. Let me hit that Pink Whitney. Pink Whitney is the flavored vodka that has taken the world by storm. Quite literally the most successful liquor of all time. You ain't got Corona, right? We're good.
No, we're good. I mean, we've been talking. We've been spitting each other's mouths for 20 minutes now.
I haven't, man. I haven't spit in anybody's mouth in a long time. I can't wait for Corona to be over on the. New Amsterdam has been a like welcome revolution in my life. It takes a lot, to be honest, in my world to like switch alcohols. You know, you get set in your ways. And
It's very easy to get set. What have been your like life changes?
New Amsterdam vodka is one of them.
What were the other ones? Espresso martinis.
Espresso martini was a huge one. Yeah. Espresso martini was more like when that was just it wasn't like I used
Your
to
hair
drink.
looks very good, by the way.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate that. To all the people who call me bald, I just don't think you can call me bald.
Who calls you bald?
That's like one of the main things that haters say about me.
What are you talking about?
They say I'm bald. I'm like, I just don't get it. I always joke with my brother. I'm like, if we were playing Guess Who, and you said bald, you wouldn't flip my fucking thing. Anyway, the New
Kevin,
Amsterdam.
I want to tell you. I do think you're getting a little gray, but you're not bald.
Oh, am I where?
I think they're like this is a gray right here.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a couple grays right here.
I would welcome the gray.
Yeah.
I might dye my hair gray. Just give me some salt and pepper in there. The espresso martini
by the way,
was
it's
when
not- it's a good gray.
I love the gray.
Again, it's very.
I tell
few
Dan
grays.
should just go full gray. Like let it happen with the salt and pepper. He dyes it back. I think I would just let it happen. When I was like beer and shots, and then I like switching to espresso martini was like, oh, and now I can drink like a cocktail too. You know what I mean? So that was a big moment. Also prior to that was like I was doing like hard lemonade type shit, like as a kid before I was like, I'm
right.
gonna drink.
Yeah,
beer,
I
you know?
think everyone's first drink was a Mike's Hard.
Right, and then you kind of like graduate. You
I had
know?
it in my
But
aunt's garage.
I remember thinking, because there were guys who were making fun of me, being like, "You drank that shit," and I remember being like, "I'm gonna drink this forever. Like, fuck you guys. This is just like how it's gonna be." But I drank other vodkas until New Amsterdam came along, and usually I'm set in my ways, pretty stubborn guy. And whether it's the Pink Whitney or just the straight regular vodka, I honestly think it has to do with the branding. I like the shape of the bottle. I like the blue. It's just like a sleek looking, good tasting, affordable vodka. And then obviously Pink Whitney comes along, sets the world on fire with like the fastest selling liquor in the world. And they've jumped on board with us the way that we've jumped on board with Goya beans and whatnot. But they're riding for us and Chiclets and,
they're
and the
big.
NHL.
They always say that, Pink Whitney. They're like, we love Trump and Goya.
What I love about New Amsterdam is that they're not even going to be upset about that. We won't even have to edit that. So go get yourself some New Amsterdam vodka. NHL's almost
They were
back.
actually discussing just changing the label to just a MAGA hat, which is that's privileged information. I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. It was in a meeting we were discussing.
They should do like make America Whitney again, and make it a red bottle or something. So go get yourself any of this, the Pink Whitney, the regular vodka, whatever you want. New Amsterdam is that shit. A little late night, not late night, but later in the day addition to KFC Radio. After we recorded the episode, 8:00 right now. Twitter is down for the blue check marks. The revolution is here. The plebeians, the commoners have won. The Twitter pores are running wild. While the cat's away, the mice will play. And all the
no one who ever worked in Milton has a blue check mark?
I know. I saw that tweet from Gaz, and that made me think that was like intentional. I feel like Gaz wants that. He wants like this rogue crew of guys, because Gaz is our gatekeeper of blue checks, by the way. When you want to get verified, when you're a new employee of a new show, a new handle, and you got to go through the verification process, Gazzo is the man who does it. And conveniently, you, Gaz, Dave, Hank,
Milmore, Coley.
Nobody has the blue check.
I would have done it. So Gaz is obviously the gatekeeper, and he sends an email being like, I have a meeting with Twitter today. Does anyone want a blue check mark? And there are times when I would have said yes, but by the time I see the email, someone else has replied yes, and I'm like, fuck them. So I haven't.
I like that.
That's the only reason I don't have one.
There is definitely there's a vibe of like, it's cool now to not have a check mark. You know what I mean? It became like hipsterish in a way that you don't want to be part of the blue check brigade. And so now you're reaping the benefits for the first time. Like
I'm so lucky I can send a fucking tweet tonight.
Well, no, but but more on like the big picture of the joke. It's kind of funny that it's like, it's symbolic. You know what I mean? It's like there are the people on Twitter who are the celebrities or the important people, and I don't want to be a part of that anymore. Like having a blue check mark jumped the shark, and this one instance is the like personification of that, you know?
Have you deleted all your DMs yet?
Have I deleted my DMs? No, I guess I should, huh?
Yeah, that's been a big recommendation. Delete your DMs.
Okay. 1 second. I will have to go do that, huh?
But honestly, if what's going to happen has already happened, these are definitively the worst criminals of all time. Like, I feel like it's a 15-year-old in like who just knows how to hack shit, but doesn't get how the world works. Like a 15-year-old who knows computers but doesn't get the world. Like, if you have access to Barack Obama's Twitter, you can do a lot more than ask for a couple of Bitcoins.
Yeah. Well, all right. You say that, but what would you do?
I'd fucking tank the stock market, dude. I'd be like, fuck Apple. Apple sucks. Apple's a bunch of racists. And I'd fucking short Apple and be like, Apple's racist. And I'd fucking reap the benefits of that.
I'll be honest. I thought I was going to stump you and you were going to be like, yeah, you know what? I didn't really think of what I would do. There's a good answer. That was a good answer. Especially, more importantly, Elon Musk because like Obama could say some shit and it's just his opinion. But if Elon Musk tweeted like, we've been working on the automated driving car system, and we just realized today that it is a physical impossibility, and the dream is dead. And then it's like, that's direct with the company he owns.
Right.
Boom. Yeah.
Done.
Right.
Done.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest. I don't have any answers after stock market, stock market, I would just fucking crush that.
Mm-hmm.
There's some like maybe I feel like maybe this person is gonna make 300 grand, 400 grand. Like that's
you know what? We'll find out. We will find out how much people are sheep if like a tweet from your favorite politician or company owner or whatever saying give me money or give these people money, because that's a crazy thing. If you're just like bam, here you go, like fine, I listened to you off one tweet, I'll give money. That's a little bit nutty, and so we'll find out just how like gullible people really are. I saw some like reporter screenshotted the Bitcoin wallet that they were linking to or whatever the code they were giving for, whatever it is. Right.
And it had like 30 grand in it. Like if you have access to these accounts, some of the most powerful Twitter accounts in the world, and you might make 100, like I would bet they top out, the max is 500, but I would bet they make like $300,000. Which
is not a bad night's work, but it is, considering like how long you'll fucking go to jail for doing something like this. I feel like this is a big deal, right?
But also just like what you have the most powerful platforms in the world. Mm-hmm. You can change a lot. Like, well,
no, but you can't. I think your stock market thing is the only thing that is in real time that you could affect in that moment, because as soon as people realize it's a hack, I mean, they had about a couple hours maybe of shelf life, right?
Right. And that's what I mean. But I mean, like, if you change the stock market, you can change the world. Yeah. So, like, you do have a short period of time. Someone said, I saw some other financial reporter said that, like, I guess these people were testing it out on smaller blue check marks, like fucking minor league baseball players who give a shit. And they were like, it was basically like they robbed a bank and they stole a lollipops first. That's the meanest thing you can say about somebody.
Yo, well, honestly, hopefully this will maybe do a little overhaul of Twitter's blue check policies, because they handed them out. It used to mean so much. That blue check back in the day was, reserved for people with millions of followers who actually deserve it. And then it became floodgates, where I saw a video the other day, someone did a skit, and it was like the blue check process, and it's got this kid, and he's like, and there's a person who represents Twitter, and he's like, hi, can I get a blue check? I'm a YouTuber. I have 10 million subscribers. I make these like culturally influential videos that everybody loves. And they're like, nah, no way. And then the next person is like, yeah, hi, I've written like 2 articles for the Washington Post. I have 400 followers. Boom, here you go. If you're a journalist, like, you get whatever the fuck you want. So there is this. Are
you going to care if it never comes back for you?
If I lose my check?
Yeah.
No,
your check. Not your check. Just like if you can never tweet again.
Yeah, John. Does a fucking heroin junkie care if you just can never get heroin again? Yeah, I think I would care.
I saw Deke Zucker had like top 10 employees who care, top 10 employees who don't care. Mm-hmm. And you were on the care. I think you were number 3 on the care.
Who was on the don't? That's interesting. Let's go through that list real quick. I am not going to sit here and front like I am some sort of like I'm.
Yeah, I was getting frank with Casey, and Casey was like, Kevin doesn't care. I was like, yes, he does.
Yeah. Well, I would maybe consider this the opportunity to like break my addiction, right? But to act like I'm unaffected, no, sir. I mean, I immediately, John, I have like an account from years ago. I'm not even going to tell you what it is in case there's any like racist tweets on it. That I had like even prior. It was like during my For Sure Not days, and I immediately started looking into that. Like, can I find the password for that? And then Nick reminded me that I have the 2010 KFC handle. Yeah. And the first thing I did was log in and start tweeting from there. You know what? Usually I go home. These are the hours I don't really tweet. I kind of try to unwind
for like 15 minutes. But you told me, once you tell me I can't tweet, I was like, well, I've got to fucking find a way to tweet. Let me look at this Deke list. Top 10 who do care. Bailey Carlin, yes.
Yeah.
Me, number 2. Trent, there was a tweet from Trent that said, life is meaningless because I can't tweet. And Big Cat and Kate round out the top 5. The top 10 employees who don't care. K Marco, yeah. I mean, he's gone off Twitter. Ellie took a 2-week vacation, but Ellie's entire career is based off of Twitter.
Based on Twitter,
so
yeah.
that's terrible. Caleb, that's a great one. Caleb lives like in the jungle. He was out there. Just living
I
it.
remember back in the day when like Caleb had just gotten hired, and like Caleb went on a podcast or something like that, and he was like, and this fits much more now with the Barstool mold, or not the Barstool mold, but like it's something you can have happen now.
Right.
But, like, he went on a podcast and he was like, I just don't really like the internet. And
Right. I remember that.
we were like, dude, there are 6 of us in this company, and it's an internet company. What are you talking about? You just don't like the internet.
He's like, I don't like being plugged in or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you are permanently plugged in. And then the next one on the list, Jerry Thornton, who, Old Balls was alive for about.
What it is.
He was around for about 8 decades before Twitter, so I think he'll be able to survive without it.
So we got a couple interviews for you today. We got a very funny comedian by the name of Cannon on. He is who the fuck is that? Now we got Mike Cannon on the show, who is back in action with us. He's a very funny dude. I actually went to high school with my ex-wife, so I've kind of always known of him through the grapevine, and now seeing that he did a new movie. His podcast has been successful. He's blowing up as a comic, so it's always cool to see that happen. Very funny dude. So we got him on the show, and we also got Camille Kostek, who is just a fucking rocket.
Camille's the best.
And she's back in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, so she's chopping it up with us as always. But it is Thursday.
Her and a Frenchie.
Her and a Frenchie that Feidelberg loves, and he's going to tweet about it.
He was a cool-looking dog.
I mean, you just said you hate all Frenchies, and then she pulled a Frenchie up.
That was bad time.
Because she said pit bull at first.
Yes,
you notice
she
that?
100% said pit bull.
And then I was like, that's not a pit bull, that's a Frenchie.
I was
And
like,
Feidelberg
how are
has
you going to
sworn
pick
that-
up a pit bull? I was
Yeah.
like, this is like, I know you, Camille. Like, you're not that big. Like,
That was-
you're like you can't curl a pit bull. And she's bending down
When
and picking
he
up
popped
a pit bull.
up and he had the ears and those big eyes, I was like, oh, that's the dog that Feidelberg literally just announced.
You have to wipe its ass.
Yeah, well,
I guess it's
I don't
not
think you
all of
have
them.
to.
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
all of them, but like
some of them.
some Frenchies, you definitely have to wipe their ass, which is insane. Like if
I mean,
there-
you know what's
I'll make a second promise.
I'll tell
on
you
the
what.
show.
I think it's weirder that other dogs you don't have to wipe their ass. How weird is that? Why do you not have to? I would venture to guess you should be wiping all your dog's asses.
You probably should. You
Yeah.
probably should. But I don't want to.
It's kind of weird that we have to wipe our asses.
You think
Shout
so?
out to Cardi B. You see her tweet?
No.
She said every time she shits, she showers. That-
I'm pretty close to
and
that.
that kind of shit, it sounds silly, but like that's more normal.
I
It's
would-
weird. Like the fact that our body has not figured out a way to. It's like when Adam and Eve were in the garden, Donald Trump fans, and creationism started. Like it's not like your body knows that there's gonna be toilet paper. So like our bodies don't. The process really doesn't run smoothly at all because
No.
it requires outside assistance from a fucking not natural thing.
I would say
You know what I'm saying?
95% of the time I shit.
You shower?
I shower.
Really?
The only time I don't shower afterwards is like an emergency.
Well, you don't ever shit at work or in public or anything, so that's out. So when you're at home, you shit. Do you shower? Will you just like kind of poke your ass in, or you'll go like full shower?
No, I'll go
Like,
full shower.
You're washing your hair, and well, you're not washing your hair, but you're getting your hair wet and everything.
Yeah, I'll do the whole shebang.
But that's also because you only shit like once a month.
Yeah, it's crazy
Yeah.
how little I shit.
So that's fine because it's not
Poop
that big of a
podcast.
deal. But there are people who are popping off like multiple times a day. They can't be hopping in the shower every
people
second.
poop multiple times a
I
day.
think there are guys who shit multiple times a day.
That's insane.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Nick, how many times do you poop?
One a day. Usually.
One a day?
Yeah.
That's too
I
many.
think I'm probably somewhere in between you two. I'm definitely not a daily.
I'm
thing.
like twice a week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's insane.
You are-
It's insane.
I feel like you're a girl. Like girls, they've like trained themselves not to shit because they've been like forced to culturally,
Yeah.
and then their body's like, all right, well, you're just not going to do this, so I'll just hang on to it for another 72 hours, and then maybe you'll go on Thursday. But you have just done the same thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Well,
and I do think it's because I'm embarrassed, and it really is. It all gets like back to self-consciousness. It's 100% me, and like I don't have to. It's because like I'm ashamed to poop like a dog.
that is wild.
And
I mean, like girls, they deal with that because of like we have these like unrealistic standards. But like guys, like guess what? Nobody would be like
Kevin,
surprised if you shit, bro.
I hold myself to the same standards we hold women to. Like, it is
That's right there. That's a feminist. You number one feminist podcast here. John holds himself to the same standards. You know what?
Yeah.
Guess what, girls? I ain't gonna shit either. I'm gonna torture my own goddamn system the way you do. I just think it's weird that
it's evil
our
if
bodies,
it's wrong, but it's 100% what I do.
our bodies would like if we didn't have toilet paper, we would just be gross. You know?
Even with toilet paper.
We gross, right? That's why, like, I just feel like there should be a better system. You know, if you go back to like cavemen days, and they were just like covered. Ugh, disgusting. But Cardi B says she showers every time she shits.
I'm 99. I'm almost exactly the same as her.
I have
it would
no
be-
idea why we started talking about this. Oh, the dogs, though. But yeah, because think about that. I mean, it's like
This show is
Camille's
so,
on the show.
this show is so ridiculous.
I just can't believe though, like dogs, we let shit and then just run all back in our house. Oh, that's two episodes in a row where you dropped your toy. Here, play with this one.
Thank you.
You know, it's just like, yeah, he shit, and I'll pick it up and throw it in the garbage, and then I'll let him jump on my bed.
You know what my mom does? This is insane.
Oh
too.
boy.
She keeps it all in a bag. Like she keeps it all in a, and it actually makes sense because I only learned this
All the dog shit?
during quarantine.
In a bag.
So when she comes home from like the walk, because like it's not in the city, so there aren't trash cans on the
Right.
street corners and stuff like that.
Right.
And she just has like a bin that she just drops all the shit in, and then when it comes time for trash day, she dumps all that shit into a bag.
Yeah.
And
Rather than bring it into the house and throw it.
but even rather than just throwing it into the trash,
Right.
because she's like, if you do that, that shit gets stuck, and then you have to like, end up like hosing out the bag.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
just disgusting to have like a shit bin.
Giant, I mean, a week's worth of dog shit.
Yeah, it's
And you got like bigger
animalistic.
dogs, so it's like big shit.
It's like 60 pounds.
Yeah.
It's a big dog.
This is a disgusting segment.
Yeah, that's so gross.
Am I the asshole?
I just burped into it too.
All right, am I the asshole today? We got a few good ones, but first, before we even get into them, there was an interesting article on Vice about the people who write the Reddit relationship stories and some am I the assholes? Because you know, spoiler alert, breaking news. I don't know if people know this. This might be like breaking like when you tell a kid there's no Santa Claus, but some of these are fake.
Okay, I did not know that. I take everything at face value.
Yeah, I know. But you also know that you're
I'm a
naive. You
naive
say
idiot,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
you say you're dumb. I've always known that some of these are fake. I feel like usually pretty often I call out the ones that I think are fake. And this article is about like the people who write about them. Because think about it, there are 3 million subscribers to Reddit r relationships, subreddit relationships.
Okay.
I mean, like if you're trying to like be a writer and get an audience and shit, like boom, you got 3 million people right there, you know?
That's true.
So some people use that as, you know, use that to their advantage. And a perfect example of a fake one, and I think we said as much when it went viral and we talked about it, is the infamous Waffle House fighting.
I don't think maybe I did think it was
I
fake.
think we did. Right?
I mean,
remember-
you definitely did. I'm
Yeah.
sure I agreed.
we definitely said the
but-
whole like it's a Waffle House, anything can happen.
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
said it happened like 7 times, and then the line that jumped out at me, I knew, was that it's like Peter Griffin and the chicken. And I was like, this is just a funny ass comparison, a funny ass analogy, and so that was written by this dude. What was his name? Okay, so. Yeah, it says there is no 29-year-old boyfriend who likes to get in fights at the Waffle House. And he said, Chris, he's 29 years old, and he said part of the story is true. While looking after his son during quarantine, the lawyer from Kansas City decided to pass the time by writing a fake relationship advice post. Though he had attempted to troll the sub before, none of his past posts had taken off. As such, Chris deliberately crafted a story.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I hate the word troll. He's not trolling stuff. He's making a joke. Like,
Yeah.
trolling, I think, just means
We've lost a lot of words. We lost a lot of.
we
like,
we
grasp
always
of
talk about
words.
this, where
Yep.
it's just like things just get so diluted that they don't mean anything anymore.
Troll
But,
is
like,
definitely one of them.
Trolling, like that's just a joke, right?
Troll
is that a
I-
troll?
I think in this case,
maybe
troll,
maybe I've lost the definition.
Yeah,
of it.
I don't know either. I feel like troll used to mean I'm like deliberately. I guess in this case, he's deliberately lying to arouse a reaction.
But I always think of it as like more of a mean lie, not like an
I agree.
entertaining lie.
This is like I'm lying for
so
entertainment.
maybe I'm the one who's wrong
versus
here.
I think trolling is. I think trolling originally was like, not mean spirited. Like when I would troll Yankee fans, and I would just be like, Derek Jeter is like, I don't know, he's like the 25th best shortstop in baseball. And I would just stick to my guns and they would be getting all upset and I'd be like, I'm trolling you guys, you know?
Yeah.
And then trolling became, I think, like everything else in the world became malicious. It was like you're trolling people by like talking about like you're like race baiting and shit like that. But I do think the inherent idea behind it is when you're intentionally saying something like you don't believe. This is just like you're writing a story though.
Right.
It's a fake
Like,
story.
yeah, it's a
trolling I
fictional
think has to be
story.
a personal opinion
Like
that you're
is
pushing.
a troll?
Yeah, it's just a
Like,
story.
It's just a story of it's a movie.
Right.
It's a story.
But
and-
I think when you're trying to portray it as real, that's a common theme of trolling is that you're saying something that's not real, pretending that you do mean it. And that's what this guy was doing. But he said quarantine was making me stir crazy. And I thought, I needed a laugh, and I thought others might need a laugh as well. Oh, it even says, whether Chris qualifies this as a troll is up for debate. While traditionally the term refers to those who are inflammatory online, the lawyer had more benevolent aims. I just wanted to give everyone a chuckle. So
yeah.
there was no inherent evil, whatever, intentions here. So he wrote it on a desktop document, uploaded it, and he had a credible backstory, and he compares the twist to Shakespeare's Macbeth. All right, settle down.
All right.
But
Relax, Chris.
but this says that between 5 and 10% of all the Reddit relationship posts are fake. So that it's a lot like a Snapple fact in my mind. So every time we do these, you gotta, we'll give an answer, but you also gotta tell me whether you think it's a real one or a fake one. So let me get into these are a couple leftovers from last week. Because I told you there was like a shit ton of them. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend to not spit in our food? Seems pretty clear cut, huh? We are currently not speaking because of this issue, since I find it gross and my boyfriend can't see the problem with it. Now, this is going to be even grosser than you think, because you think that like, yeah, spit in food, like that's if I spit in your food, that's like what an angry chef does, right? There's a whole different reason here. I do most of the cooking in our relationship, which I'm fine with. However, occasionally my boyfriend will want to do some of the cooking together / some of the baking. We do a lot of activities together, especially now that we're both at home. The one thing I cannot stand is a habit when it comes to food. If my boyfriend thinks that something is too dry or needs better consistency, he'll use his own spit. For example, the other day we were making icing for homemade cookies, and I caught him, quote, thinning out the icing mixture by spitting inside the bowl and mixing it in. This has been an issue for some time, so he tries to hide it from me whenever he does it. But every time I catch him, I find it gross. His reply is just to shrug to me and tell me that I get more of his saliva in my mouth when we kiss, so it shouldn't be a big deal and makes literally no difference. I pleaded with him to use water, but he says the texture is not the same. I know that he's right in some way, and it's not like I complain about his spit when we make out, but something about it being mixed in with the food grosses me out. This does go along the lines of what you said to Howie Mandel, though. A little bit of, I'm swallowing saliva right now, but if you were to give me a shot of my own saliva, it would be disgusting.
Yeah.
You do make out with me and we swap spit. You don't care about that. All sorts of bodily fluids all over the place. But if I just into your brownie batter, you're freaking out. But there are just certain things you can't do.
In a society, which we live in,
Barely.
you cannot do that. You can't.
You know what
just
I think the rule
spit
is?
into brownie batter.
The rule is the spit, the saliva, it can't hit the air.
Well, that's not true.
Think about it.
Well, I'm thinking about
Yeah.
it.
But
Trust me, I'm thinking about it.
but also trust me and you are in the minority there. There's a lot of people going, no, it can't hit the air. But yeah, okay. But it's got to be a small window,
It's a very short window,
and it's got to be okay. Amendment: the saliva can't hit the air while my dick is soft. Sold.
Deal. That's easier.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's just like the thing about what goes into like holding a bowl up like this.
Yeah.
And going like, yeah. And you probably don't loogie it, right? So
No,
you're
it
doing
can't
that.
be. It's got to be like
But
saliva.
but
not
it's
like,
still like that's
it's gross, but also it barely affects it.
It barely affects it, but it's also just harder than running it under the sink.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's easier to just run it under the sink. It's easier to put mayonnaise in there or ketchup or fucking any other mildly liquefied meal or whatever you want to call it. Liquefied accoutrement. I use that one again. It's insane. It's an absolutely insane thing to do. And the fact that I think she's a coward for not punching him in the face the first time she saw it. Like you have to abuse your boyfriend the moment he does that.
You gotta lay down the law, right?
Like you gotta fucking
Whack! Just
stab him
right there.
Fuck it, I don't give a shit. Use whatever weapon is available. You have to nip that in the bud fast.
I do commend him. For
You can't just have a
shrugging.
fucking significant other who just
Spits in
spits in food in order to fucking make the consistency better.
I actually thought that this would have been a long con. Like, the fastest way to never have to cook again?
Spit.
She'd be like, oh, I got this. And then you go sit down and watch the game while she continues to cook. But it sounds like it's something he likes to kind of continue to do. Yeah, no, you're not the asshole. He's the asshole.
He's the asshole, 100%.
That might even be a fake one, to be honest. If we're going to go down that road, I mean, that definitely falls under the possibility of, come on now, this can't fucking be real. What else? We got relationship one. I found out my mom and I are quote dating the same guy and she doesn't know it. Ooh, mama. What? Yeah. For context, I grew up in a very liberal and open home/city where we always communicated with each other and were honest. I'm newish to the BDSM scene and poly relationships, but my parents are poly, and that's what sparked my interest in it.
Poly is polyamorous.
Yeah, open, everybody fucks everybody. I'm 22, and the guy I was seeing is 43, same age as my parents. I met Cody at a munch. I don't know what that means. That sounds like some kinky shit. At a
I don't
munch.
know why I looked at Nick. I was like,
Back in September last year. Can you Google that? Can you give me a little Urban Dictionary? Munch. M-U-N-C-H, like munching on pussy. Met him at a munch back in September, and we really hit it off. We complimented each other's tastes. Although my family and I are honest with each other, I never told them about this because I feel like my sexuality is a personal thing. Yeah, that seems pretty, Well, this is, apparently you should have spoken. We had a mutual understanding that it was cool if we also played with and dated others. When you say played with, that means you're kinky.
played with.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's not a jar of Play-Doh.
Heavens to Betsy.
While we're seeing each other. He had been into the poly lifestyle for several years.
with other people.
Yeah.
That is so.
And I was used to, what does munch mean?
Derived from burger munch.
Oh, of course.
It's a casual social gathering.
For people just interested in BDSM.
I guessed it was something sexual. I didn't think it was going to be BDSM.
They
Hey,
should go
man,
back
maybe
to-
at the munch, we're going to fucking slap each other with leather whips.
Derived from Burger Munch.
Go back to calling it that.
Yeah. Okay, so he was into the poly lifestyle. I grew up around it. We're good. Everything was dandy until last week. What?
I just saw liquid munches known as sloshes in many areas.
Oh, my God.
What do you do at a slosh? I can't read any of that. My eyes are so bad.
I just don't get why it's called munch. Are they eating food?
A slosh is just held at a bar. Seems
Oh,
like.
okay. I get down with that.
All right, sure. So anyway, everything was dandy until last week when my mom told me she started talking to a guy she met through a dating app, similar description to Cody. She has started going online because of the coronavirus, yakety 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 ya. I shrugged it off, told myself this has got to be a coincidence. We live in a huge city. Then she showed me a picture and was raving about him. Sharing has never been an issue with me until I realized that my mom and I could potentially be dating the same guy. The thought of it makes me uncomfortable. I would hope so. I don't know if I should break things off with Cody without telling my mom so it won't make her feel awkward, or do I tell my mom and let her help me decide? I just don't know what to do. And before anyone comments on this, no, I'm not a troll. So, okay, this one's real.
Yeah, he says that.
So you and your mom are fucking the same person.
God, so much.
Theoretically, under this polyamorous thing, it's, should kind of be allowed. There's nothing inherently wrong with it.
There's something wrong with it just because I just can't have that pressure on me.
Meaning, what? Do I fuck as good as my mom?
Yeah. I can't have my mom fuck you better than I do. Like, I just can't have that happen.
Yeah, that's so true.
I have enough self-confidence issues before knowing my mom fucks my boyfriend better than I do.
That's a tough one. That is certainly a tough one.
I mean, you just can't have that.
Now, I would also depending on the mom situation. I mean, it sounds like she's poly and swinging. She's catching dick.
See, this
She's
is
fine.
a little too close to home, by the way. Just having poly.
Oh yeah. So I'm poly with poly. But it sounds like she's, if this was like you're let's say you come from a normal family and your dad dies and your mom has been at home and she's been lonely for like 20 years and then she starts dating a guy and you find out it's the same dude. I think you got to like bow out.
100. Oh,
Right?
Yeah, mom
But
gets dibs.
But in this
100%
case,
of the time.
in this case though, she's going to BDSM parties. She's fucking all over town. I almost think that you have as much of a
Well,
of
no,
a
she's
clear-
not. He is.
But I'm saying
She's online. She's beating him on Grindr.
Right.
Or whatever.
Okay, fine. But I'm saying like she's polyamorous, has been her whole life. She's been fucking all over town. And now she meets a guy on an app.
I
and
think it
she's
doesn't
fucking
matter.
him. You think the mom's
I think mom
I-
gets dibs 100% of the time.
I think in this
if
case,
you and your mom are trying to fuck the same person, mom gets to fuck them.
I don't think if your mom is older and has had multiple decades of poly swinging, I feel like she should defer to you and be like, I've had my time. It's time for you.
Nah. It's always mom.
Okay, that's fair. I do love my mom. How about this though?
Food eats first. Camera eats first. Mom fucks first.
Yeah, it's like put your mask on first. I gotta fuck and then I can take care of you. How about this? What if Cody was the daughter's age and not the mom's age? I think there's also an element of that. If you're gonna look at these two, who should she be with? She should be with the person who's his age.
But he's 22. The other guy.
He's like 40, so I think he goes with the mom.
He goes with the
but
mom.
if he was like her age, the daughter's age, should the mom defer to the daughter?
Hang on a second here. I'm learning something very new just this moment.
What's that?
I assume that was a guy.
No, it's a girl. Yeah. Wait,
Okay.
you thought the guy?
I
You
thought-
know,
I
they
thought
were
it
like
was-
bisexual?
Yeah.
No,
The poly stuff threw me off.
God,
Like,
well, the way you were talking, I was like, I thought you were just putting yourself in a female's shoes.
no, I
So
just
you were
figured
talking-
if you're polyamorous, you're also bisexual. So like you just fuck everything.
No.
I am just now learning it's a
So
girl.
you were thinking about you were fucking a guy.
Yeah.
You did that way too easily. You were way too like comfortably. Just
Well,
like,
they're like I grew up in a very liberal household. Everything's polyamorous.
True.
I'm like you just fuck everything.
that's
so, like,
true. I'm not.
If you're dating,
Yes.
if you're fucking a guy, like you're probably a guy.
No, that was funny though. This is a daughter and a mom and a guy.
Okay, that changes everything.
So now what are you thinking?
Now daughter gets him
Okay. In all situations?
in all situations. Yep.
Why is that?
Don't know.
I think it should be case by case basis in a sense. Like I said, if mom's out here catching more dick than you, what if mom is super hot and the daughter is like, I've never had a boyfriend and this is like finally a guy I like? Then the mom should defer.
Mom should defer on all of them. If
You just totally flipped on me.
yeah,
I'm fucked.
if it's not a guy fuck, I don't know what it was about a guy fucking a guy, but I felt like mom gets him. I guess it's just chivalry, really.
Yeah, no, yeah. Okay, so I'm now putting myself in the shoes you were in. This is a jacked up one. I would do anything for my mom. I would die for my mom, including you can have my boyfriend. Yeah. But if it's
That's
a
why I was
daughter-
like, I can't have my mom fucking
Yeah.
like all that stuff. Okay.
Now everything you said is I gotta go re-listen to this episode because I thought you were just role playing like if I was a daughter I can't have my mom fuck better than me or whatever.
It sounds like a boyfriend, doesn't it?
No,
Just the way like the polyamorous thing throws me off.
that doesn't mean gay. It just means multiple.
No,
partners.
you're right. It was judgmental and naive of me to think otherwise, but
You're getting canceled.
I just immediately thought this is a boyfriend. Like it was. I didn't even hesitate.
No, everyone's
Quickly,
straight.
I was like, this is a dude fucking a dude.
I think that the straightness does matter. I think that the age matters. I think that you have to, I think the situation matters. I feel like in this case the mom should maybe he's her age, he goes with the mom.
100%.
If the boy was younger, I think the mom should say, you know what? I'm the one who's like out of my bracket, my age range. I'm going to leave it to you.
Yes. I'm confused. I'm lost. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm just saying,
I know I just said 100% to something you said that I completely disagreed with.
if so the daughter's 22, let's say.
Go
the
ahead.
mom and the guy are both like 45.
Right.
So if they have to pick, the 45-year-old should go
45s.
But if the dude was like 22
45. Shout out Trump.
and if the dude was like 22 and the daughter's 22 and the mom is like I'm swinging with this young guy and finds out it's the daughter, then I think she has to bow out.
I
But
again,
you're going to stick with the mom.
I think daughter wins no matter what.
Well, as a parent, I can say that's bullshit. Sometimes Keegan, if you're listening, we deal with this 20 years from now. I'll get the girl. Wow, what a world though. Can you imagine that? That's some crazy stupid love shit, right? Sorta.
No.
Have you ever seen Rumor Has It?
No.
Jennifer Aniston, her mom, and grandma all bang the same guy.
Good for him.
So
3
wild
generations.
fucking movie.
That's
Crazy Stupid
pretty
Love's-
bold of Jennifer Aniston to assume that like we would believe her grandmother's still alive. Jennifer Aniston's like 60.
Well, when she was like 40, it could be possible.
Look, she's awesome. She's the best. But like, there's no way Jennifer Aniston's grandmother's
Not
alive.
anymore, but when she was like 40, it could happen.
It was from 05.
Yeah, so like 15 years ago.
Maybe.
In Crazy Stupid Love is just a friend. It's a friend's like dating his daughter.
Right.
There's no like mutual
Yeah,
banging
it's
of each other,
Ryan
but it
Gosling.
is.
It's-
But I'm just saying that moment of like, hey mom, like look at my new boyfriend, and it's like,
I know that person.
oh, that guy fucked me in the ass. That is great, and because that's the other thing of this, by the way, you know that it's not just like, oh, like I went on a date with him. It's like, oh, like
it's
he tied me up, and
fucking.
we did double penetration with like our neighbor, like crazy shit. We'll do a couple more here. This one is controversial. And I think I kind of see both sides of it, but it's a tough one. Am I the asshole for cleaning poop off of my female friend? I'll try to make this short. It's 2 goddamn slides, so it's not that short. I'm a 30-year-old married man. We recently had a party for some close friends after COVID. 7 of us total. By different circumstances, we don't have much. 4 women, 3 guys. Long story short, we drank a bit, and everyone was planning on crashing at our place. No big deal, nothing unusual. The one girl that recently became single drank a lot due to the breakup. She ended up passing out. I moved her to the couch near us so we could continue talking to her while monitoring her. Well, eventually she stirs, rolls over, and reveals that she has pooped herself down her skirt and her legs. Shout out to Caitlin Bennett. Everyone laughs at first and then starts
Did you say
gagging.
that or is that written?
No, I said that. Everyone laughs at first and then starts gagging. The couples basically say that that's a sign the night is over and they start going to their rooms. Well, I'm the lone holdout that just can't leave her covered in poop. My wife was too drunk to help. Everyone's just shit-faced. I was conflicted because this was a close friend, so I did what I thought was best. I grabbed baby wipes and I cleaned her up. To be clear, this is never good. And this is where I might understand the other side of it, because you never want to have to say this sentence. To be clear, I did not touch her vagina at all, but I did clean poop off her butt and quickly ran a wipe through her butt crack. I'm a nurse. I also think matters. So I have a super strong gag reflex. Didn't bother me at all. Slept on the couch next to her in case I heard any choking or puking. Next morning, wakes up, everyone comes to see their friend covered in poop. Well, she's not anymore, and that's when it all starts. I can't believe you did that. That's assault. You basically groped her. My wife was no help, which hurt badly and implied that I should have gotten her to do it, despite the fact that she was way too drunk to help. I feel like my friends aren't messaging me as much anymore, and I'm being excluded. Today was the final straw when I looked at my wife's phone and saw a group chat of the girls with one of my best friends suggesting that the passed out girl should file a police report. I don't know what to do. I'm so frustrated because I tried to do the right thing. I'm a goddamn nurse. Cleaning poop off of someone is so clinical and practiced, it's almost routine at this point. He goes on to clarify a couple things, but none of it is really. The girl who had the accident is horribly embarrassed. The next day, she left shortly after. Didn't harp upon it. He's in Canada. It was a long fucking wrap up, but there's no other like additional details.
I think you should be arrested just for being a sicko who cleans up poop. Just let someone fucking sit in their own shit. Now, I do not think that it's assault. I think the fact that he's a nurse makes
That
a
matters.
huge difference. Huge difference. But I also, even if he wasn't, I don't think it would be considered. Again, I don't.
This is not assault. Come on.
What am I? Like, who do I know? What do I know? But if you shit your pants right now, I never touch it in a million years.
No way. No way, Jose. I'm not doing that.
And if you do, you deserve to be arrested. I agree with his friends that they should press charges
For the wrong reasons.
Because he's a psychopath.
I mean, he is technically, the reason you're saying that is because you're grossed out by it, right?
100%. Yes.
Now, if you're not grossed out by it and you're like, this is my friend, it's bad to sit in a pile of your own shit,
Definitely.
and I'm going to clean him up. You know, he's not, that's what he's doing. He's not, like, he wasn't fucking getting off on you.
What would you do if I wiped your ass?
I mean, I'd probably have to like break up with you. You know,
What if you woke up in the morning, you went to bed knowing you shit your pants, and you woke up in the morning and you were like, I did
clean.
not have any shit in my
Yeah,
pants.
I'm squeaky clean. I smell better than ever. I would have to break up with you as a friend and co-host and lover because I can't ever like we can never argue or anything ever again. You just be like, or like, yo man, like grab me a beer. No. Oh yeah, I cleaned shit off you once. I'd be like, all right, fine. And you just have this trump card over me forever and ever and ever. You know?
Yeah, 100. Yeah.
You almost said 100% again.
I almost said I caught myself though. Good for me for catching myself because I said it like 3 times in a row.
I feel like the friend saying you should press charges is like that should no longer be a friend. Get the fuck out of here.
That's aggressive.
That's weird to be on a group chat with someone's wife. And be like, we're gonna press charges.
He should
against
go
that
to
guy.
jail.
Yeah, fuck you. I mean, this is one of those things where it's like I totally think he should be like thanked and not press charges, but it's also why like you can't. I'm not gonna go out of my way for anybody in this world because everything backfires.
I mean,
I was trying to
wiping
save
someone's
you from-
asshole is definitely weird.
and the way he says like I just. You know, it sounds like if you just took a towel, right, and I just like threw it on your back and pulled it up to you. That's what he's making it sound like. If she woke up clean, that means he was like getting up and
wiped her asshole. That's
that
crazy.
is too much. Yeah,
That's
yeah. Which is why like,
again, I don't know what again, the nurse aspect, huge aspect. I think it's just a crazy idea to be like, I'll wipe up their asshole. Right?
Yeah, I think if you like throw them in the shower and turn the hose on, turn the head on. If you hose them down like a goddamn horse, there's other ways that I don't think you should be all up in there like spreading cheeks. But ultimately, I think you can be like, that was a little weird, but like, I don't know. I'm starting to come around on it. If I was just like, hey man, I was like passed out drunk and you like pulled up in my butt, I don't want to be around you anymore. I would get it. But you know what? You're also the asshole for shitting in someone's house.
Yeah.
Like, so forget about all
You
the details.
shit on my couch.
Openly shit on my furniture in the middle of our party and shut our party down because you were so out of control you shit all over the place. You are the asshole.
Yeah, you're 100% the asshole.
Fuck off,
Right.
man. All right, one last one, and we'll just do it quickly because I just this headline I got a crack out of. I got my period on a weekend getaway, and my boyfriend got mad at me and told me I should just hold it in. I can't believe this is actually happening. I've been dating this guy for 5 months. We never really had any issues. We planned a weekend getaway at my parents' house in the woods. We were really excited for it. We got there Friday night, and on Saturday I woke up and I was on my period. It wasn't supposed to be for at least another 4 or 5 days. My period is pretty much always on time, so I didn't even think it was going to be now. But when I'm on my period, I always have horrible cramps. I took a painkiller, but it didn't help much. So I went to my boyfriend and told him, and he got really mad at me. Apparently, he came there to go hiking and have sex. I'm here to go hiking and have sex, and we already did all the hiking, babe. And that wasn't going to happen now. It wasn't my fault. I can't control my period. He literally said that I should have waited and held it in until we got back home.
Do you know how old they are? Did they say?
No age.
As a 31-year-old now, I'm much less. I used to be terrified of periods.
Yeah.
I probably would have been this guy if I was like 22 or something like that.
Hold it in.
Like, why are you bleeding? But now, like, I bet this person's under 23.
I'm looking at the comments to see if there's anybody. I bet this person's like 17.
Yeah.
Because that's where, I mean.
Yeah. If all you want to do is hike and fuck, you're definitely under 17. You're definitely under 21.
I can barely do either of those things, let alone both at the same time. So, but you do have to understand that girls can't just, like plug your ears and your nose and your pussy and the blood doesn't come out. Voicemail time. They're brought to you by Postmates. If you like me, you love eating, you love food, you don't want to go out, you don't want to have to go grocery shopping, you don't have to cook, you don't have to do the dishes. I don't want to have to get in my car and drive to the restaurant to pick up the food. Everything's weird now. Do I go in? Do I wait outside the window? I forgot my mask. Do I have to wash my hands afterwards? Are they being safe? I don't want to go into the restaurant at all. I want to just have it delivered right to my house, and that's what Postmates has always been doing before all this happened and long after. The best way to get your food delivered right to you is through Postmates. You got non-contact delivery so that your local restaurants will send it right to you without ever touching hands, without ever seeing any people. They also have Postmates pickup, where if you don't want the delivery person, you can just go pick it up yourself. But either way, no matter which option you use, the neighborhood spots are going to stay in business because of you. You order local, support the local community, and make sure you get your food delivered right to you. It's a win-win for everybody involved. And it's not just like burgers and sushi. You can get things from Walgreens, 7-Eleven. So, I mean, I get like diapers from Walgreens. I get milk when I'm in a jam. I've had Benadryl delivered right to my house. Whatever you need from your local pharmacy or your corner store like 7-Eleven, they can deliver that too as well. You can have iOS or Android. Doesn't matter, and you can get whatever you need delivered within the hour. For a limited time only, Postmates is giving our listeners $100 of free delivery for the next 7 days. So when we first did this promo, we were like floored by it. Now think about it doing it in the COVID world. I mean,
You're gonna need that.
I remember people used to say, "How can I spend $100 of delivery?" I'll do that.
That was
in 3
a
days,
ridiculous
bro.
question to start.
Right
now
now,
it's preposterous.
forget it. First 7 days, $100 of delivery for free when you download the Postmates app and use the promo code KFC at checkout. Find your favorite restaurants, your local restaurants, your Walgreens, your 7-Eleven. Get anything you need delivered, whether it's food or local or convenient groceries, whatever. Download Postmates app, use the promo code KFC at checkout for $100 of free delivery credit in the next 7 days. Anything you need, anytime you need it, Postmates it.
What's up, boys? So I got a quick story / question for you. Kind of fucked up. I don't know. So a few years back, one night I started shitting blood. Obviously, it spooked the fuck out of me, so I went to the ER. Doctor had to check my ass. He had to put his fingers on my ass and shit.
Jesus.
Turned out it was just internal hemorrhoids. He sent me home, nothing less threatening, whatever. So fast forward a few years. Now I'm a paramedic. That is the hospital that we mainly transport to now. And the doctor that basically finger fucks my ass is my medical director, which is the doctor that makes all of our protocols, basically my top boss. So now I have to see this guy pretty much every day. And we kind of, I don't know, it just gives me a weird vibe, like we both know who each other are. And so I guess my question is there anything fucking worse than your top boss not only seeing your asshole, but basically finger fucking it? I don't know. It's just spooking the fuck out of me. All right, boys. Thanks.
I don't think this guy can. He needs a new job.
Oh, I disagree completely.
You think that
This doctor does not remember you.
okay.
I think it's just human nature. We're all very narcissistic and
Yeah,
conceited,
okay.
and we think that you saw a doctor 5 years ago when he had to check your ass. Like that dude doesn't remember you.
Okay, fine, but wouldn't you say that even like you knowing is just gonna like the dynamic's gonna be fucked? Now, me and you we can compartmentalize them like a motherfucker and lie to ourselves. We're fine. But the average person, they walk in the room and they're like, "Hey, boss," and they're trying to have a normal conversation, and he's just sitting there going, "You finger fucked my ass. You finger fucked my ass. You finger fucked my ass." I mean,
Also, finger fucked is a stretch.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you this much: if he did finger fuck your ass, then you definitely need a new job. Because if he's in there like blasting you, like let me find out he used his ring finger and his middle finger or some shit. We got a problem, man. I think you should get a new job unless this is like the fit for you. Otherwise, it's like
I mean, it's hard to become an EMT. Like if you
yeah?
work to become an EMT,
you can't just like get it at another place.
I don't think
Yeah.
so. I don't know about maybe not getting the job, but just the process of becoming an EMT is a pretty difficult one. You have to go to school and stuff like that.
And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, much like the last conversation, you're all in the medical field. It's all like just regular shit. you know?
I think that doctor has no idea who the fuck you are.
He's probably finger banged a bunch of butts.
Right. Do you think there's a girl who could walk in here right now who you fingered before and you wouldn't know?
No, I know everybody I fingered.
Really?
Yeah. Not you. And there's a lot of girls you fingered that you wouldn't know.
Definitely.
No, I think I know every vagina I've probed.
Dude, that's been a question that's been asked before. I forget if it was why it was asked, but it was like, do you think there's a chance you have a son in this world? And I was like, yeah, there's a chance. There's definitely women I've had sex with who I just never spoke to ever again. They might have children.
Right.
That's a harrowing question and a harrowing realization.
I think I only have like one No, but I've never come in a girl. But I mean, I guess you can sneak through.
You've been doing dry comes?
I've never come in a girl. I've never. Yeah, I mean, you can come without coming in a girl.
Yeah. I know. I mean,
Pulling out.
I
I mean,
no,
yeah.
no. I know you can. I mean, yeah. Like that's your move. No.
You don't pull out.
Not a lot. I mean, look, if someone wants me to, yes, but unless it's requested, no.
Wow. If you were not dating, if you were not in a relationship, and you were to go and just hook up with a random girl tonight, you would just come inside her.
No, I would do. I'm a very gracious lover. Whatever
nothing,
you want me to do,
if nothing was said, if it's just like there's been no discussion before.
Nah,
during,
you know what? It's been such a long time. I guess I'm just like not remembering right.
Then you'd pull
I probably would.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah. It's a little crazy to just go out there guns
No.
blazing.
You're right. Like 100%, I definitely would. I don't know why I even said like.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I
right
did that.
But that's let me tell you something. When you're out here, you can't be risking that.
That's a lot.
I mean, that's just. I remember my buddy. This was a few years ago, and he was just like, "Yeah, man, like I've been coming inside like every time we have sex." And I remember being like, I told him to stop. And he's like, "I gotta stop." And then he just like, kept doing it. And one time I shook him, and I was just like, "That is the method for having a baby. That's what you do to achieve a baby. You come inside of the vagina to have a baby, and you're just doing that over and over and over again."
It is literally the step-by-step process of procreation.
Right. And yeah, I know the pill and everything, but it's just like, boy, it's not worth it. I remember thinking there was a time where I was like, I'm gonna come inside. It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna feel so good. And then I did it, and I was like, that was not worth it.
Oh, it's not worth it.
That was not worth it.
I don't even really like it.
Like afterwards, I was just like,
it's just the easier one to do.
Now I'm worried about it, and that was not worth it.
It is. I
less messy,
I definitely don't
easier.
like find it like a turn on or anything like that. It's not like particularly erotic to me, but it's just the easier one. So
for you, for right now. That is a big time future me will worry about that.
It's just like me not lifting the toilet seat when I piss.
Yep.
It's easier in that moment.
Right.
Then I have to wipe it up and stuff like that.
But the toilet seat doesn't pop out another toilet seat that you have to take care of. The toilet seat doesn't create a little toilet that you then have to pay for the next 20 years. Okay?
You're right. Let's
not come inside people unless it's all agreed upon. I don't even know what the question was. Yeah, your boss can finger you. Whatever.
So what? Your boss's fingers have been up your ass.
Hey, KFC, Fight Super Duper BC. Just had a quick question for you guys. How do you guys get ladies to stop trying to cuddle and touch you after sex? When I bust a nut, I get that post of clarity really bad. What is living, and why is the sky blue? And once girls are done sex, they're trying to cuddle you and they want to get all touchy. And I want my space, and I want to really think about the existence of humans and other post-nut clarity things. How do you guys get them to, whether it be a girlfriend or one night stand, how do you get them to stop touching you and cuddling you after sex? Because that seems to be what they want. Thanks.
You're asking the wrong guy. I'm the cuddly king. I will cozy up to you and hold you tight as long as possible. I'm the cuddly man.
Yeah, I like cuddling. Big spoon, I'll do it to you. Little spoon, preferred.
100%.
I want to.
Sometimes in the middle of the night, I guess I'll roll over a little bit, but like.
Oh, sleeping, I think is a little different. Like, I think sleeping while like cuddling is a bit much.
No, I cuddle the entire time.
Oh, don't you get hot?
I guess not.
Are you big spoon and you sleep that way?
Big spoon.
So you're sleeping on your shoulder, your arm over her,
and one arm under.
Oh, see, that's too much.
Somehow it doesn't go numb. It's crazy how it doesn't, but
yeah, that's crazy. That's a bit much.
Oh, fuck me. My shoulders are really fucked up. I don't know if that has to do.
Apparently, John just barely moved, and all of a sudden he's grimacing. I'm a big. I'd like to. I'll fuck so that we can cuddle afterwards. I guess the end game is a little bit of snuggling. I want a little head scratch. I want you to kind of do that thing where you like tickle my forearm and just rub me. You know what I mean?
I don't know this one.
Oh yeah, give me your arm. Give me your arm. Just give me your arm. Just it goes like this to you. It feels great.
Yeah.
Great. Do that all over my body.
I'll be honest. I didn't care for that.
You don't like. I'm surprised to hear you like. You like snuggling because I feel like.
I don't like.
Anytime I've ever mentioned like massaging or touching, you're like, no.
I'll be an intimate. That's why I'm not a little spoon guy. I'll be an intimate toucher.
Yeah, you're the big bear.
I don't like to be intimately touched.
Yes, I want to be intimately touched. But I want it all. I want to squeeze that ass. I want you to squeeze mine. We want to hang out. We want to. But when we sleep, I do need to like go back to your corners. But the idea, this whole like, I fuck and then like I kick you out of bed.
I think
like,
that's a very archaic idea. I do not think men think like that much anymore.
All.
I think guys are like, yeah, I like to be held. Intimacy is okay.
There's like the running joke. It always goes viral, and I love it every time on Twitter. Is like my man once his boys leave the house or whatever, and it's like a picture of like it's like this ghetto dude, and his girl is like holding him like a baby, and like there's one where he's like drinking and she's almost like feeding him like a bottle and like rubbing his head. It's just like a grown man acting like a baby being like coddled by his girl, and it's like this is what happens when like the fellas leave because it's like when we're alone and we're deep down and we're being honest with ourselves, we want a little bit of love. Yeah.
I'm the woman in the relationship.
Yes,
100%.
Absolutely. So
it's the stereotypical woman right here.
Yep.
That I'm the one who's laying on the couch. I'm in your lap. I'm getting my head rubbed 100% of the time.
1000%. And anybody else who's like still
I said
living
100%
the best,
again. Son of a bitch. Fuck.
Let's call a spade, man. We've all got our crutches, Yeah, listen, if you're still like, I'm a caveman, I got to kick you out of the cave after we fuck, then
you wrong.
You wrong for that.
You real wrong.
All right, next question.
Hey, boys. I'm just calling because I have a question for you.
What's up?
I found out recently through my group text to my friends from home that everyone has vibrators. And that's fine. But then I went and texted all of my other friends and said, so does everyone have vibrators? And I just didn't know. My question for you is there anything that your friends have been doing for years and you just like missed the memo? Thanks.
Wait, this girl is surprised that all her friends have vibrators?
It sounds like it, yeah.
Do you remember, probably on this very show, and just guys in general, there was a time, and we were always on the right side of this, but it was a debate. There was a discussion. Do all girls masturbate? Do you remember those days? Do you remember the days where we would question if there are members of the human race who do not masturbate simply because they were female? That is one of the more ridiculous things we ever used to do.
Yeah, that's one of the more problematic thoughts we've ever had.
But there were girls who perpetuated that myth by lying. There were girls who were like, I don't do that.
Do you want to know how bad girls masturbate? So open your Safari for me real quick.
Gladly. Where's this going to
go? Okay, so you're one of them. Okay. All the women in my life,
what, the Pornhub's on there?
They don't delete that. So
you do?
I'm mine solo.
Since when, Mister? I don't use incognito. I don't clear my browser.
But I don't do any of that. But it's just easy to delete the icon. Be like, all right. Every time someone uses my Safari, they don't need to see. I have women in my life who have 3 in a row. It's like Pornhub, X videos, and like RedTube or something like that.
Good for her.
And I'm like,
why don't you pass me that girl's number, bro?
Well, she's my girlfriend.
By the way, I find it to be, this is what John's talking about, by the way, when you open up Safari and it has all your favorites and your frequently visited websites, I mean, I use it. I click the Pornhub. But there were girls also with the porn that would be like, I think it's a little more reasonable. Like there might be some girls who don't watch porn or at the point where they have, the favorite on their browser. Like, oh, I don't watch porn. It's like, you probably do, but I understand you lying about it. But the fact that there was ever a point where it was like, I don't.
But it's on them because they lied about it.
And they did. They perpetuated that myth.
Like guys were just like, yeah, we watch porn. Girls for a while were like, I don't know what that is.
Right.
And then...
But
then somehow became deviant overnight.
Yeah, you little sluts.
Fucking animals.
You fucking whores. You know what I've thought about?
The hard W is a lot.
That did slip out. You know what I was thinking? I have a notion. We, as fellas, are always sitting here saying, What's with the step porn craze?
Do you think it's women?
Maybe it's girls.
It was there.
They're the
coming
ones
over.
They're the ones that keep this in the algorithm. Because I know for a fact, me, you, every guy I've ever talked to, and guys that would not.
No,
lie
I
to
know
me,
there are a few guys in the office
that are into
who
it. Yeah,
care
because
for it.
I mean, I've never like searched for it, and I'm like, who is keeping this myth up? And maybe it's the girls who are over there going, see, I don't watch porn, but when I do, it's a fucking dad fucking a daughter. Telling you, they're the deviants out here. Interview time. Let's talk to Mike Cannon and Camille Kostek. We'll start off with Mike. He's a very funny comedian. He's in a new movie, Timing, with Tim Dillon and Akash and a bunch of other guys who've been on the show before. So Mike Cannon is brought to you by Roman. Roman Swipes. I said this on Mail Time. I used to kind of do the Roman Swipes ad talking about, I think this might work. And now I can do these ads telling you they definitely do.
You used it.
Baby.
I was going to say, I know someone in the office who, I'm not going to out them, but I know
here's
someone in
the
the
thing.
office who has used it.
I don't think it should be considered like outing. I understand.
I don't think it should
There's
either,
like a
but-
stigma to these things, but it's like, when you're having sex, like you had your box of condoms and maybe you have some lube, and like you should also have these swipes because it's going to be way better for everyone involved. Everybody would be happier. I promise you this. You open them up, you swipe it on, you last so much longer. You're happier because you got to do this position and that. You ever, when you go into sex, you're like, all right, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna go over here and we're gonna do this room. We're gonna be hanging from the ceiling. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna go, and then you're like, well, I lasted for like a little bit of missionary and then that was it. Well, not anymore. You get to play out all your game plan here. You can make it to the second half when you got the Roman swipe. She's going to be happier because it lasts long enough for her to get off. And or him. It doesn't matter who we're talking about here. I never thought about that. I guess like lasting long doesn't really matter as much in gay sex, right?
Well, I would imagine it does. Why not?
Because it's not the same as like you're not going to like have an orgasm from getting penetrated.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah? Guys come from getting fucked in the ass?
That's where the male G-spot is.
But just from straight fucking?
I mean, I don't know, but if I'm told that the male G-spot is... I saw a tweet about that recently where it was like, God, like, puts the male G-spot in the asshole. Also God. Gay sex is illegal.
I never thought you could just come from just like...
I mean,
who knows?
I don't know. I would bet you can. I would bet you can.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm sure anything's possible, but I always just feel like that's more, anal sex is more for like a person delivering.
I think with women, yes. I don't think with
Guys?
men. I think with men, it's...
That's a funny thought that I never had. Like a guy being like, you came too soon, you asshole. Well, whatever.
Son of a bitch!
No matter what kind of sex you're having.
That's it. I'm not cuddling you. Get out of here.
You want to last long enough to make sure that everyone's satisfied. So go to getroman.com/KFC when you get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose any other monthly plan. That's getroman.com/KFC for $5 swipes.
Yo.
There it is.
What's good?
How you guys doing?
We're good. That sounds good.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Look at you with your fucking fan. Oh, there you go.
Hell yeah.
I don't know this movie, and I saw you on Jim and Sam, where they like sandbagged you with the whole cast of it.
Dude, they surprised me. It took every shred of my body not to start crying.
Well, do you know this movie, Rad?
I don't think I do. I feel like I've heard of it, but I've definitely never seen it.
It's like a 1986 BMX movie. I watched it when I was 4, so I think I saw it in like 89, and it just shifted my entire life. I immediately got a mongoose. I was like going off ramps at 4 and shit.
Are you?
I like how you had to specify the year. Like, you could have said it's the BMX movie, not the one from '86.
Well, there's also everybody who's like, no, Gleaming the Cube, bro, or BMX Bandits.
Are you a legit BMX guy? Like, can you handle yourself on these things?
I mean, I'm gonna break my wrist by the end of the summer.
Yeah.
I just bought a 1997 mongoose on eBay, and I'm like fixing it up. Dude, I'm like fully regressing.
You know what? Do you know what you're doing with that shit?
Kinda. I mean, I'm like going on YouTube and trying to figure out, how to do certain tricks and like what parts to buy and all that shit. I'm like, it's so pointless.
Did you ever go to Camp Woodward?
No. A couple of my buddies did
that?
though for aggressive inline skating.
When I was a little
rollerblading
kid,
thing?
like when I was a kid, when I was a kid, there's a skate park by my house that like all the cool kids hung out at. They all smoked weed and cigarettes and all kinds of awesome stuff. And I was like, I'm going to become a skater so I can do that. And I tried to skateboard and I just couldn't. So I started inline rollerblading, and that was always the dream. It was like, if we get to Woodward, we are the real fucking deal.
Dude, yeah. I remember my buddy Arthur in school, and he was like, he always had the best skates. He always had the newest Jenkos. He was just that kid, right? That like his parents just funneled what was cool at him, and he sucked as a result. But like he went to that camp, and
he went to Woodward. Like, I've never known someone who went to Woodward.
I was so jealous.
This sounds like the yacht week of kid camp. You know what I mean? Like you actually went, dude. You went there. You did it.
I remember asking my parents if I could go to Camp Woodward, and they were just like, "You can barely rollerblade, dude. No."
Yeah. Well, and it was an astonishing price when we were kids. Like it was like $3,500 for a week, which, you know, for summer camp, I think my parents were paying like $500 to $700 for sleepaway for basketball.
Right.
And then they saw that with all the equipment. They're like, no, we're not gonna fund another pipe dream of yours.
Right. Dude, my parents were like, dude, learn how to drop a half pipe once. That's it. Like, don't be too scared to drop in the half pipe one time, and maybe we'll think about it.
Oh, I gave my parents hell because I had all of the, like, Rockland County, you know, some of the kids are like wild. Their parents are really wealthy. Mm-hmm. So I had a buddy whose like dad built him a half pipe in the backyard instead of hugging him. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, I need every ramp known to man.
Dude, my town was we were in Pelham, and we were surrounded by New Rochelle, the Bronx, Mount Vernon. So we had like the rich white kid town, and then all the locals in the other towns would just come in and steal all our bikes. Like everybody's bike was constantly stolen, and we would see them like riding in our town. One guy riding a bike while holding the handlebars of another, just ghost riding it back to town. It was like, well, that's not yours. Like either your buddy who was riding with you is like dead now or something, or you took someone else's bike.
Either way, it's a tragedy.
Right. And we would just like, I don't know. We were like, well, you're gonna like, we can't like fight back. You're gonna beat us up or anything. You know, it's just like, well, I gotta get a new bike, I guess.
One time, my bike got stolen from my front yard, and my cousin comes over and he goes, "I'll get it." And the next morning I woke up and it was back.
It was back?
And I was like, what did you do, dude?
He's just wearing a blood-soaked t-shirt. And he's like, you're welcome.
I had a mongoose.
He's like, I'll find it. I'll get it for you.
I had a mongoose that I loved, and it was my first. My parents always got me like the shitty bike, and all the other rich kids had the dynos and the GTs and all that shit. So I finally got a mongoose, and it got stolen. And my buddy at the time, you ever have one of those, this is a weird, random story, but you ever have one of those like coconuts that they turn into like a pirate head, you know? So my buddy had just gone back from vacation, and he had this coconut thing. And that's what we were riding bikes, and he had that. And it got stolen, and the coconuts were still there. And my parents thought it was like a calling card, like the Joker leaving a fucking card. And I heard them like talking to, I don't think it was like a cop. I don't think they like called the police, but they were talking to somebody. And they're like, what do you think this means? And I was kind of like, what are you guys talking about over there? Like, the coconut head, it's a clue. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Just buy me a new bike, please. Leave me alone. The good old
that
days.
was great. We used to like go into the woods and just like machete out a trail and try to build out like our own pump track. And I mean, I remember doing it both successfully and then unsuccessfully, where we just like went onto somebody's plot of land that they just purchased, and then they like chased us off with a rifle in their fucking overalls. It was like, where do we live?
Rockland is a weird spot, man. Rockland's like right on the verge of, you know, it's close enough to the city, but you're also gonna get some upstate vibes, sorta. It's weird.
Yes. Oh, dude, they take great pride here for being 19 miles away from New York City and never visiting. It's like
you can't even get there.
Cultural epicenter.
The fact that there's no like train from Rockland to the city like direct is kind of crazy. You got to do like planes, trains, and automobiles to get to Manhattan.
Exactly. I mean, there's like, it's kind of Pearl River has one that you can take into Penn, but then after that, it's like Tarrytown. So you got to go over what used to be the TZ Bridge and, you know, take it right into Grand Central. But you're right. There's like nothing direct. I used to have to take the bus from Spark Hill when I was still living in Rockland and then doing comedy in the city. I was taking the bus every single day from Spark Hill into Port Authority. And that was like a true nightmare.
Dude, the only thing, the TZ Bridge is
But hang on. We're talking about the Tappan Zee Bridge, right?
Yeah.
So you guys, it's a TZ? Is that how it's abbreviated?
That's my high school was Tappan Zee High School, and we shortened it to TZ. So I think I just
I'd never heard that before.
The TZ bridge is just it's just designed for suicide. It's just like, this will bridge you can get your automobiles over the river, but also you can kill yourself here.
Yeah. Well, and towards the end of it, you couldn't really get your automobiles over the river. It was I think it's a floating bridge, so they had to like displace rocks all the time to just keep it from like tipping the fuck over. Like it was a truly bizarre
That thing is
engineering thing.
Catastrophe. So I had you on because I just watched Timing. And I saw you tweeting about it. I didn't know what to expect. I was like, this fucking guy's in a movie? Like, not a documentary, like a movie. And shit, man, it's good.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, we shot it for the better part of a decade, so. I'm glad it at least came out coherent.
That's funny. I mean, it's... I can't, because you're in it, Akash, Mike Feeney, Tim Dillon, like a lot of names that we know and have had on the show. So it's weird to see like all these guests that we've had now on screen. But I feel like it really captures the essence, at least from what I would imagine, because I'm not in it the same way you guys are. But I feel like it really captures the essence of like New York City comedy and like the grind and how it fucks with the rest of your life and relationships and whatnot. We get a fraction of that with the blog as far as how it impacts your personal life or whatever. But I mean, it was some like heavy shit. It was funny at times, cute, romantic. I mean, it had it all.
A lot of tongue kissing, huh?
Yeah. So what was that like? I mean, is she an actress or is she a comic?
No, imagine I'm like, no, we just found her. No, she's an actress. I think she dabbled in stand-up a little bit, but she's like a trained actual actress.
I was going to say,
she's also a musician.
She's like...
She brought it. She's very good.
It feels like, that was...
Gracie Carly.
The actress, Gracie, and then, you were kind of like the comic, trying this thing out, but for, to be on camera with her, and she's more like, she knows what the fuck she's doing, Mike. Is that awkward, or are you just like, did you roll with it?
I think it would have been awkward if there was a script. Like that
was my next question. How much was it like you just were kind of riffing?
I mean, it was kind of like, so Alex Anderson, the director, he had the idea for the movie, came up with the concept. He knew what it wanted to look like. It was more in line with his story. A lot of that stuff I went through as well. Like I did Bark in Times Square, all those open mics. I've definitely left my now wife at, holding her dick at parties while I went and did a 5-minute spot at some shithole bar.
Right.
Like all of that stuff is really uniform across the board, but he mostly had like kind of scene ideas. And it was super ambitious at first because I think we had like 60 scene changes.
Wow.
And we're just guerrilla shooting it all over New York. And so once we got into a scene, though, 100% of the dialogue was made up on the spot.
Holy shit. And I mean, it's like, it's real conversations. Like, I mean, it's not just like quick little bits that I feel like you could fly through. That's really impressive because I was actually thinking how natural it sounded. And now that makes a lot more sense that, it really was like your own words and feelings.
Yeah, I think that's how you make somebody like me look moderately capable. You know what I mean? It's like I do podcasts, I do stand up, so I'm comfortable being in the moment. So when things have to be like created organically on the spot and not me memorizing and then accessing and then delivering, that to me made it a little more authentic.
That's a great point, actually. I mean, we've never done anything like a movie, but anytime I've done like a video or a viral thing, and I have like a script or whatever, it sounds terrible. Like we can't do that at all. Whenever I recite lines, you can tell I'm reciting lines. I guess you probably do that with Making a Gambler, where it's like you have a framework and then you just run with it.
We do exactly the same thing. We have like an idea and then we're just like, all right, everything on the spot now.
Right.
Because it would look ridiculous otherwise.
Otherwise,
Exactly like you're saying.
Yeah, I think I'm a big pothead also, so my memory isn't the greatest, but it takes certain mechanisms in my head to like remember things and then try to project them out. And if I'm doing all of that in my own head, I'm assuming it's not going to look real.
Right.
Now, did your wife see it, and did she see any lines where she was like, I know where that one came from?
All of it.
All of it.
The fighting scene, there's a couple fights, but one of the fighting scenes in the kitchen when she, gets this job offer, and then I finally like leveled up a little bit in comedy, and we're arguing, something, and she just turned to me. She's like, "You're not even acting. You're just a good arguer." She's like, "I've seen this piece of shit before."
And your wife, you've been with like since high school, right?
Yeah, I mean, since on and off since we were like 10 years old.
Yeah.
We literally grew up next door to each other, and she's, you know, it's crazy that she's known me before this was even an idea in my head.
Right.
And now, you know, she's totally on board with stand-up acting, anything that I'm doing. She's pumped.
So you met when you were 10?
Yeah.
That's-
We met on the blacktop where they lined everybody up to get their buses in 5th grade.
So you met like 40 girls in your life, and you're like, this is the one.
No, we've each dated other people because that would be psychotic. I mean, you know,
I was thinking, how am I going to politely navigate the rest of this conversation? Because I think if you meet and that's it, and you go with that person, you're a fucking idiot and a weirdo.
Totally, absolutely mentally ill. Not only, and also, I don't want the pressure of being the only penis my wife has seen or accessed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then what? She's just looking out into the world with like, you know, wondering eyes, just seeing what else is out there. It's like, no, you see what else is a good fit, and then you come back to me when it's all
when you're ready to settle, come on down, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Once you see everybody else is also a piece of shit, you come back to them.
That's so true. That really is. That's romance right there.
Oh, and the
date
same
around
for me too, dude. I mean, I've had periods where I slept with a majority of my high school, which also overlapped into my wife's friends. So it's like, it's just insane. She knows everything there is to know about me, and the simple fact that there is that transparency with us, it's made our relationship that much better.
Yeah, I feel like true love is accepting. If you accept me that I'm a piece of shit, that's true love. You know?
Right. Yeah. 100%. 100%.
There's one scene in the movie, and I asked you if this was real. I don't want to spoil it, but at the same time, I think it's such a great podcast bit. So Mike gets approached by this chick after he does his set, and she's like overly into him, and she's like, "Let's go back to my place," and she handcuffs him to the bed and starts blowing him, and then her boyfriend comes home and starts screaming at her, and they fight, and it turns out this is what they're into, and it's like a cuck situation, and they fuck in front of Mike while he's handcuffed, and at the end he's like, "Yeah, man, like, sorry about that, like, hey, you know, that's just kind of our thing," and he goes to him, I feel bad sending you home with a full bag. You want her to blow you? Like, it is just, and the thought now that I realize that this is all kind of improvised and all impromptu, the fact Mike's like, no, I'm good. It is.
Honestly, if that was me, I would have said yes.
Yeah.
100%. If that was based on my life, I would be like, you know what, buddy? If you could just take a walk down the hall, finish me off, and then send me on my way with a clear head.
I mean, I don't want to send you home with a full bag.
It's so good, dude. And we had talked after I watched the movie, and I was asking how much of it's real, how much is not. And you were saying you think that it might have been at least based on a real story with the director?
Yeah, I think so the director, Alex Anderson, I started comedy with him. Him, Akash, and I all did the Village Underground for the first couple years. We barked outside of it. And, you know, we likened it to like JV The Cellar, you know, the junior varsity comedy cellar. It's where we were, you know, just taking reps, getting our asses kicked. Every show was a nightmare. You know, it was just very difficult. But also, you got to meet some pretty kooky broads. And I have been with my wife since I started comedy. So that, to me, wasn't even on the table. But Alex, the director, especially early in comedy when he wasn't sober, he was getting into some all sorts of shit. And I think that was one of the situations.
I feel like comedy, like part of... I always talk about how when I hear from you guys, it's like you got to start when you're like fucking 3 years old, right? And I also feel like part of it is doing it early enough that during all your formative years, you are also involved in the comedy world. You know what I mean? Like, normal people are not they're gonna have their stories, but they're not gonna encounter weird like groupie girls at an open mic who want to like fuck you, and I feel like it just kind of feeds the beast of comedy, you know?
I think so too. I think it's a little dicier now, obviously.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, you gotta make sure and have them sign a permission slip and all that stuff. But
Right.
you know, but I still get it. Like I'll talk about my wife and my son on stage for a full hour, and girls will come up to me after, being like, "So what's up after this?" And I'm like, "You're trying to ruin my life."
Yeah, you know, and you're okay with that. That's wild.
Dude, I told a girl in Dewey Beach, she was a smoking hot chick, came up after me to the, like, after a headlining thing, and she was like overly flirty in my face. And I was like, listen, like, you're a terrible person. you heard what I just talked about. That didn't bother you at all. And you're trying to get me to throw away my life. So what? I can come quick with you?
But did you say that? What'd she say to it?
Yeah.
You,
That's exactly what I said. Brendan Sagalow was right next to me. And he's like, I'll take a blowjob.
Like the whole gang that was in it, was that like, you know, do you have all those guys in mind and you're like, let's roll, let's do it? I'm sure everybody was kind of excited to get involved.
I mean, Alex again, he was friends with Akash. He got all them. Kate Wolf is another comedian. She was in it. Tim Dillon. I mean, I was friends with Tim at that point already, but like, I think Alex was the one that reached out. And Tim's part,
he's such a cocksucker.
Not to spoil anything, but like he's basically degrading me about comedy. And I remember it being so convincing that I was in a bad place for like a week and a half. After that scene, I was like, I know that was a scene, but like that felt so real, probably was real. It like made me spiral about thinking if Tim meant it directly towards me personally. Like
It's such an unbelievable asshole. It's like a 5-minute scene that is just like brilliant on his part of how much of a dick he is.
Tim knows exactly what to say to get anybody to give up.
So in general, you know, the movie is a lot about, you know, he's got this girl and she's got her own dreams, and how do you juggle it and how do you balance it? And I feel like that's something that really only people involved in, you know, music or comedy or acting, whatever, you know, trying to be like an entertainer, trying to basically chase like a pipe dream, can probably relate to. But I'm always fascinated by that, because I obviously like I fucked it all up and didn't handle it well and didn't like know how to balance it. But I feel like even if you're like successful in doing so, it still sucks, man. I mean, it is. Yeah. It's not an easy choice.
It's hard. I mean, I've gone through different like eras of myself throughout my career, and like initially I made zero compromises. My wife knew that, or my girlfriend at the time knew that, like, it was comedy first. I was 100% dedicated to this thing. And like the relationship, although I was super committed to it, it was a periphery thing. I was like, I'm so driven. My dad was an actor coming up, and then he had kids, and he always kind of blamed us for why he didn't succeed in acting, which is how you get a comedian. But I
so really,
that.
you should be thanking him then, Mike.
I know. No, it's honestly, it's a hard learned lesson. And that's why I didn't get married until I was like 30, 31. Yeah. Because I was like, I need to make sure that I'm at least relatively established in this shit. And, you know, and I know the direction I'm going before I fully legally commit. And I have a woman that's super ride or die and totally supportive. And I mean, you know, my wife has proven that over and over throughout the years, but it took me growing up and kind of recognizing that there needs to be a balance between like, okay, we can do a night a week where we see each other, and then I, you know, go off and do my horse shit. But like, you know, it took a long time to get to that place and feeling of comfort to allow that, you know?
Well, I think what's interesting is for this type of job, it is what you make it. Like, it's not that you have a boss like breathing down your neck. It's that you want to be at the show so you don't miss an agent or a big night or a guest spot or whatever it may be. So, like, I think there's you always feel internally like, well, if I take a night off, I know that I'm not going to get to where I want to get. You start to blame yourself. You start to blame her. And I mean, it's like that internal ambition is the worst thing in the world for relationships is ambition.
Totally.
Ambition's the worst.
Also, I mean, if there's ever been a time that makes me appreciate that I did balance it well, is during the fucking pandemic and during quarantine, because it's like, if I threw this away and I'm some asshole that lived by myself in, you know, a 1-bedroom in Queens or whatever, and, you know, I'm actually talking about Brendan Sagalow. but if I just threw away my, you know, my relationship and was 100% focused on comedy and didn't nurture any type of interpersonal connection to anybody, then stand-up gets ripped away from me. What the fuck do you have?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm genuinely grateful that I kind of saw the importance of this relationship and stuck with it.
As someone who spent most of the pandemic with his family, you're not missing much. like the other side would have been pretty good. It was, Dude, I was like hiding from footsteps. I could like hear things. It's like, give me a panic attack, like just someone closing a cabinet. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna break. I'm gonna break down if you close that cabinet again.
Dude, I feel like I'm there right now. I just did my first road weekend at Comics Mohegan Sun in Uncasville.
How's that?
And, you know, it's one thing to perform inside while, you know, you've been fear-mongered for the last 3.5 months, but it's another thing to then be in a casino where it's like casinos attract the worst type of people anyway, and then you add a deadly pandemic to it.
Right.
So the hurdle, which, you know, knocks off a percentage of them, then like brings in even more terrible humans. It was a wild scene to be around, dude. And I was just like, I don't know if I'm ready to be outside yet.
Was it like just tables like way spread out? It's got to be a weird, like just looking out into the crowd. It's got to be strange, right?
So in the club, it wasn't bad. So I think we sold out at 25. It's sold out at 25% capacity every single night, which you know that is perfect numbers for me because that's what I draw anyway. But like, you know, it was spread out to the point where it almost felt like the room was full. The laughter didn't roll exactly the same as like a tight, compact unit, but like, you know, for the most part, it was good. What was sketchy was the casino. So the casino where, you know, I saw Vegas and they have all those like. They have the plexiglass and all that stuff. I mean, they took zero of those precautions in Connecticut. There's like guys wearing the mask over their, you know, whatever, or the shield over their mask, and they have the shield pulled up like it's a hat brim. You guys are fucking... It's
not working that way, guys.
Dude, we went down to a casino in West Virginia, and it was the same thing. It was like wearing a mask there, like you could feel the judging eyes like, yes, I bet you're a Democrat. Like wearing a mask.
Everybody was calling us a bitch with their eyes. Everybody. They're just like, yeesh, this libtard sheep.
Had to be a lot better though than I saw the video of you doing like in that parking lot, I think in Queens or some shit. Drive-in, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to remember, was that they were in cars? Did they do like the radio thing, or they were just listening to you like over a speaker?
Yeah, so they did. That was like a drive-in comedy show at the Bel Air Diner in Astoria, which they're still doing, and they're kind of improving each and every week. When I got there, it was the first time that they did like 6 chairs up front in front of the car. So everybody else, I mean, it's like 30, 40 cars in this parking lot, all tuned into a radio station to hear you through their car system. And then the 6 people up front kind of lended a bit of normalcy, so it felt like you were kind of playing to people. But beyond that, it was like a live Zoom event because I'm just watching through windshields and people like kind of delayed, you know, chuckling, and most of them were still wearing masks, so I couldn't even see the expression of joy on their face. It was brutal.
Yeah, that is a level of I mean, at that point you're just hoping to get reps in and shit, right? You can't even be thinking about the crowd because that's as awkward of a setup as it can possibly be.
Right, and I mostly did it so I got that video. You know, it's all about content in quarantine, baby. So I'm shooting everything I possibly can, and I'm like, well, if that's going to be the new normal, I want to be the first one to get something out about it.
It's funny. You see the people who like kind of get it and are going to do podcasts and internet content and videos, and the people who are just kind of like, if I can't get on stage, I am completely fucked. Like zero adapting on their part at all is crazy.
Yeah, it's a bizarre thing, and I understand like the impulse to hang on to what's comfortable and what you love, because, you know, I mean, comedy, stand-up, I should say, is my number one thing. I'm probably one of the few, you know, there's levels to this, right? Where like there's obsessive comedians that were totally their end goal is to be a draw. Their end goal is to be a comedian and tour and have people intentionally buy tickets to come out and see them. And then there are other comedians that do it as like a side hustle. They hope that it'll land them some acting jobs or they can do something else. And it's like that is never that's never been my shit. So the heartbreak of having to give it up for a couple months is certainly there, but it's like, what am I going to do? Force my wife to pay attention to me? You know, it's like I got to get this outlet and attention and positive affirmation somehow. So I'm adapting and trying to put stuff out any way I can.
When do you think that you'll be back on stage in front of a full capacity crowd?
Fuck, man. I mean, this weekend, if anything, it's taught me that it might be longer than,
Yeah,
we anticipated.
I feel like we're talking like 2021, like a decent
so,
chunk
too.
into 2021.
We had been, before this all started, we had been like working on planning a podcast tour, and I don't know if we're gonna do it until 2022.
I know. I think
Because we're not gonna, we have a job, so we're not gonna do it unless it's 100%. We're not gonna go in like a.
There's no point. 25% for us. It's like we're learning how to do it still. We're not. We don't have that addiction need the way comics do. So like we'll do it when we can do 100%, or at least like I don't know 90%.
Right.
Which is
Yeah.
I
bet
we
2022.
John, we may never do this.
Yes, got the excuse.
Dude, isn't that the most heartbreaking thing? It's like you're like, all right, as soon as there's a vaccine, and then the first report is like, hey, vaccine is going to be 40% effective. And it's like, well, then maybe never.
You do have the Irish Goodbye podcast though with Feeney. Which I saw the clip the other day. Mike had no idea what SMDH meant, and what was the other one?
I didn't know. It's TL, too long, didn't read that one.
So Mike's telling a story. Mike Feeney's telling a story.
Wait, what's SM? Suck my dick.
Shaking my damn head. So you're an idiot too.
Okay. No, I would have gotten it. I would have gotten it.
Well, that's basically where Mike was too.
Okay.
So Feeney's telling the story, and he's like, it's long-winded. And he's like, TLDR, too long didn't read, and Mike was like, oh, that's what that means. And everyone's kind of clowning him, and he's like, well, I knew what it meant, I just didn't know what it meant. And I was thinking, like, that's, you could see TLDR and know that means the abbreviated version of a story without knowing the actual
that's
letters.
I,
and that's
I
where you're at. And I bet you there's a lot of fucking people out there like that.
Dude, one time I was at the doctor's office when I was probably like in middle school. When I was in sixth grade, right? I hung out with the eighth graders. I was cool as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And this girl, I think her name was Jessica. I forget her name. But she had written, like, in a tattoo-style font, SMB, which she meant as Suck Me Beautiful.
Suck Me
Beautiful. Nice. A good shout to Stifler.
Yeah, exactly. And I went to the doctor with it on my hand still. And I was in the room with my doctor and my mother. And he's like, what does SMB mean? And I immediately, without missing a beat, said, sorry, my bad. And I was like, oh, I'm a good liar.
That's when you scare yourself.
Yeah. I was like, boy, that came really easy.
Those moments where you like prove to yourself you're a sociopath are so into. I almost said auditioned, but I interviewed for like an office manager job when I was just starting out in comedy, and that's what I thought. I had been referred by a friend's parent that worked at this company, and they were like, it's just an office manager job, super easy, 9 to 5, then you get to do comedy at night. And the first question they asked me when they were there, they were like, so you're a Mac specialist, huh? And I was like, all my life. Just totally
Invented
off
that
the
shit.
tongue.
Yeah.
I was so confident they didn't give me a test. Like, they were like, all right, we believe you. And then I had that job for 5 years. And I like Costanza'd my way through it, acted frustrated every time somebody would ask me a question, and just did it.
I had it one time. I went to the liquor store with my girlfriend. This is probably like 10, 12 years ago, whatever it was. And I wasn't 21 at the time. So what I had was a fake passport. And then I had my license. I'm sorry, not my license, my credit card.
Who the fuck has a fake passport
it's
besides a spy?
It's crazy that I had this, dude. And someone offered me $20,000 for it so they could sell drugs at Rollins College, and I was like, maybe. It was wild that I had
That's actually
this.
the most responsible thing he's ever done is turn down 20 grand. Like that's a lot of money, but he had the foresight to be like, well, this is like full blown like drug lord conspiracy theory.
Dude,
identity theft, so.
I knew the kid whose it was. Like, my like girlfriend's sister like dated him and stole it and gave it to me. So like it was great. Like the whole thing was insane. It was a real scumbag shit of me to use it in general, but at least I didn't sell it. But anyway, so I had
back, John. You earned it, babe.
But so I had this.
I would have sold it, by the way. I would have been that idiot. Like 20K for sure.
I had this fake passport with my real credit card, and so the person at the liquor store was like, "This doesn't match up." And I immediately had this elaborate story of how I'd misplaced my wallet. My father sent me his credit card so I could use that. With,
Kevin McAllister over
right?
here.
And like, as we walked out of the liquor store, my girlfriend's just like, "You're a piece of shit." Like it was so easy and so fast. She was just like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm sorry."
That's like, you can't expose that side of yourself to the ladies because then they will never believe another word out of your mouth.
Well, that's the thing is, it's like, well, now every single thing I'm going to question.
Right. 100%.
And you should.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I don't blame you.
What I don't like about myself, a long list, but when I find myself lying about completely ordinary things that are just not necessary to lie about. It's like where did I get dinner, or what did I eat, or what? It's just like, well, that wasn't true, but I don't know why I said that. It's this truly compulsive.
Dude, sometimes my I just don't remember, so I lie, and then I remember later, and I'm just like, should I correct it, or what's the point of it? Like, I can't even keep track of my own fibs.
We were talking to Liz Mealy right before this, and she was we basically had a whole conversation about how much you hide of your real self, at all times.
Yes.
And then part of me starts to feel like I'm smarter than the rest, because I'm like, why are you believing this? You guys are idiots. I'm lying to you. It's a weird feeling to just have to admit you're a sociopath.
But then it hurts your feelings when you realize they don't care enough to back check. You're like, oh, I'm so good at this, and they're like, no, it just went over my head. I don't give a shit.
I didn't catch you because I actually wasn't listening, because I don't find you interesting at all. So.
I was focusing on my own lies.
And then you start thinking about that. Everybody's just lying to each other and telling stories that aren't real, and fucking this world is.
It's
fucked,
like the real
man.
life internet.
Yeah. Seriously is. So, any more movie plans, or was this kind of like a one and done thing to get the comedic story out there, or is this part of the plan now?
So, all of this, everything that I've done from releasing the special independently to releasing this movie independently is just showing. It's my attempt at showing people what I can do. So in hopes of getting legitimate work, it's tough for me to even get a fucking audition at this part, even with an agent. So if they're not going to give me an opportunity to land a role, then I might as well take a role and show that I'm capable of doing it in hopes that could prove, worthy of even an audition or an opportunity or an offer. So I would totally do it again, but it just depends what's on the horizon.
It's interesting because whenever people are asking about how they get involved with the blog or the podcast network, whatever, I always tell them, just fucking do it. Show me a podcast, show me a blog you wrote. And you're kind of doing that, but just with a full movie. It was a polished product that you put out, but you're using it in hopes to, showcase. So, I feel like that's the new way to just pursue any dream, is to just do it and be able to show people, here's an example of me doing it.
I hope so, at least. I'm definitely throwing shit at the wall, and I'm hoping anything sticks. And nothing has led to the big breakout moment yet. But all you could do is just head down, keep working. I'm releasing something this week, which is a fake documentary about this character I created, Frank Rigatone, which is he's a Rockland County gym owner that refused to abide by Governor Cuomo's.
He's just the guy the AR-15 and the bandana.
Yes.
Yeah. Governor Homo.
Exactly. Yeah. So we shot an entire at my in-laws' house. We shot an entire mockumentary. Brendan Sagalow actually plays Mrs. Rigatone, my wife, and it's just a preposterous character piece that it's okay, I did a special, I did serious acting, and now here's a total character piece that is just off the wall, and it's I don't know, I'm just trying things. Here you go.
That's the way, though. That's the people who are still waiting for the formal audition and the get in the room and perform. It's just not how it works anymore,
Yeah, no, it doesn't. And, a lot of people that get parts have the following already, so their established fan base is what's leveraging their work. So if you can continue to build the following and have people that are ride or die and like your work, then hopefully that'll lead to more shit and more money.
It's the name of the game, man. Because you got this fucking kid, and they are expensive as shit, dude.
It is truly baffling how much this kid costs. It's
nuts.
dude, I want to hammer.
Why
throw
you guys all
into
do
the
this?
pool.
I don't know. Why do we do it? Why? It's.
Dude, I was talking to my buddy the other day, right? I was texting with him, and his wife and his kid were away, and I was like, oh man, like you live in that bachelor life, you fucking like just getting fucked up. And he goes, dude, I go to bed soundly knowing that no one will wake me up at 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. And I was like, why did you do this? No one seems to enjoy it. I don't get it.
No, we don't.
Well, that's funny that your friend even can sleep, because I, on the road, I'm like, yes, finally, I get 3 days of sleep. This is amazing. And then at 7:30 a.m., I'm like, no, just a pure robot.
How old is your kid now? Just turned
Mike,
one,
do you want to know what time I got out of bed yesterday?
No, you don't, Mike. You don't.
4 p.m. And that was only to go to the bar.
That's the idea, is have breakfast at sunset.
I got out of bed at 4 p.m. and the only reason was to go drink. That was it. That's the life I lead. Dude.
That's depression. That's clinical depression. You know what? I found myself. We filmed a video a couple weeks ago doing like a hot dog eating contest, and as someone's talking, I'm in the background, and the whole time I'm just like this, and I realized I'm constantly rocking ever since I had a kid. I can't. If I'm standing on a line, if I'm standing at a bar, you watch me. I'm just always because I for 3 straight years I was rocking a kid.
Oh,
like constantly moving. It's so weird, and I can't. Like I do it like I don't notice it. I can't stop it. So like things like that. You can't sleep ever again. I can't stop moving ever again. I can't stop worrying ever again. My kids slept in the other day, convinced they're dead. Every single time my kids sleep past like 5 minutes after they're supposed to be awake, and then it's a double-edged. Then it's like, well, do I wake them up? Because I don't want to. I would love to lay here and not have to worry about them. But I'm also sitting here panicking they're fucking dead. So I'm not really enjoying myself. So then I kind of do like a little shake, and I see them breathe, and then I run out. It's a whole fucking thing, and none of it makes sense.
It's just like Stand By Me. You poke them with a stick just to make sure they're moving. Dude, I'm the same way where like I used to take like hundreds of milligrams of edibles and then judge roast battle. Like I just could exist in that world. I was totally fine. Yeah. This weekend I was taking some edibles and I took like 25 milligrams, and I immediately went through a wormhole of how I might die someday, and my son is gonna like how I have to pass on every lesson that I've ever had to my son, and I have to ensure that he knows who I am and all this stuff. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this sucks. I might have grown out of hallucinogens.
It's a wild trip though. Are you gonna like? This is so far down the road, but would you like encourage your son to do comedy or like any of that kind of shit?
I don't know if I would encourage him, like give him the idea, but if it was an idea that he had and he felt like that was the way he wanted to express himself, I wouldn't turn him against it. When people are like, this job is too hard, it's blah blah blah, it's like, yeah, so is anything you want to be great at. Yeah, like if you actually have ambitions to be great or to do what like this sounds cheesy, but like what speaks to your soul, none of it is going to come easy.
Even something just alternative, to be honest. Like if it's not a 9-to-5 office gig for a paycheck, if there's any sort of passion or whatever, it's going to be terrible.
Yeah, my wife owns her own floral design company, and they crush it. They do huge events for like weddings and stuff like that, but they've also taken a giant hit because of the pandemic, because both of our careers fucking rely on congregating. So it's like, and I watch what she's going through, and it's no different than what I'm going through. So it's like, if you truly want to, create something from scratch and make it your own, I think the process is going to be the same either way.
It's weird. I feel like comedy is not a industry where you see a lot of like it gets like passed down. Like are there like father son or mother daughter?
There's some like Dana Carvey's kids do stand up.
Yeah, okay.
The Wayans, obviously. Right. I mean, that is like
that was more like brothers as opposed to like passing.
But even the son, David
Wayans that's Jr. right. He's on. Yeah. I feel like for the most part it might be an industry where. Because, like, if you watch timing, like, it's such a grind that I could see people almost deterring their kids from it.
Yes.
You don't want to go down this road.
And also, you need to be sad. So if your dad made, if you succeeded, made a lot of money, your kids probably aren't that sad.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good point. And I think my kid might So I reacted to my father giving up on acting and then becoming a stockbroker. And my initial knee-jerk reaction was, okay, I'm never going to settle for a job in an office like that. I'm gonna continue to follow my dreams, and I'm not gonna let anybody kind of step in the way. And I have a feeling my kid might see what I do as kind of this inconsistent, depressing, dark, sometimes sad thing, and be like, well, I'm going to be a fucking accountant.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it probably all depends. And then I could see if you make it like big, that there's resentment there for another reason. You know what I mean? Like dad was famous and on the road, and like, so fuck that. It's an interesting one though. You're right though about that. It's like, you got to discipline your kid, right? And it's like, well, do I do this the right way or do I make him a comedian? And I'm like, well, let's pick right now.
I was talking about that on stage, actually, where I was like, listen, I want to do better than my parents, but I want to fuck my kid up to be at least interesting.
At least he's got some jokes in the holster during, happy hour or something.
I've seen all these like little, downtown Brooklyn coddled little pussies, and they stink, and they're gonna be shitty adults.
Dude, how about this? I think I officially can call myself the poor family in my world. My daughter's friend, he's going for a tennis lesson today, and his parents just offered to pay for Shay as well. $300 to just go do a 1 hour tennis lesson. And I was like,
just for the day?
Yeah, just for the fucking day. Like one lesson, $300. And I'm like, first of all, thank you. That's great.
Does that
second
come
of
with
all,
an 8-ball?
What's that? Yeah,
that come with an 8-ball?
What else is involved here? And I'm just like, do I have to? I mean, I really have no interest in her being a tennis player. So do I have to pay? Do I have to offer this? I don't. Luckily, it was through Caitlin. So I'm like, I don't know. You deal with that. But I would be super uncomfortable. They're like, no, I got this. Don't worry. It's like, well. No, I can pay for my own kid, but maybe we can just meet up afterwards. I don't know what's going on here. It's a weird fucking world.
Yeah, we'll go get a slushie in Cadman Plaza Park after.
Yeah, so that kid will be the boring kid because his parents paid for $300 lessons, and
or that kid will be choking rabbits unconscious because his parents, instead of hugging him, sent him to a $300 an hour class.
I love it, man. All right, well, timing's out on Amazon Prime. So anybody can go catch it. Like I said, Akash and Tim and Mike Feeney, a whole bunch of other guys in there. It was awesome. It's a very cool indie flick vibe of New York City and comedy. I think especially if you're from here or you do comedy or whatever, I feel like you can relate to it. And even if not, it's just Gracie and Mike, man. I feel like you could write a Jack and Diane song about them. Shit, the ending left me all sorts of emotional, dude.
Yeah, it was and also thanks to the director Alex for including every single kiss scene that we ever filmed. So my wife is like, so this keeps going.
I was wondering at one point, you're in bed, and I was like, is my boy about to do a full blown fuck scene right now? But no, it's all good.
Yeah, that would have made the movie even more realistic, just full penetration.
It's great shit, man. Keep it up. Hopefully, you get back on stage, and we gotta do Irish Goodbye soon. We gotta do a little home and home.
Oh yeah, I'd love to have you guys.
Mike had described it to me as a storytelling podcast. I was like, I got the boy for it.
Oh yeah, we gotta get you guys on.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, dude.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Have a good one. All right, big thank you to Mike Cannon. Everyone, make sure you go check out Timing. It's a cool little indie flick that I think you'll get a kick out of. Very heartfelt and genuine movie. And now it's time for Camille Kostek. This interview is brought to you by the Barstool Store. The weather's getting warmer, the days are getting longer, summer's officially here, and the Barstool Sports Store is filled with everything you need to enjoy a few months of sunshine. Also, forget about the weather.
New Viva stuff in
a lot of Viva, and fuck, I don't care what time of month it is. We're doing hoodies, we're doing sweatpants, we're doing all of it.
I would like all of that stuff.
I know it's a good one.
Also, I would like all that stuff in smalls because
they're gonna get stolen.
Yeah.
Well, we got the quilted black and white tie-dye men's hoodie. Cropped hoodie for girls, the matching shorts. We got white hoodie that is tie-dye with pink, purple, green, and yellow with matching sweatpants. We've got a new windbreaker rain jacket. We got a new zip-up jacket. We got a whole bunch of cool new shit on the Viva line. So go to store.barstoolsports.com and click on the Viva section to get all of our new gear. And Camille, Sports Illustrated supermodel. Let's talk to her.
Hi, squad.
What's up, girl?
Hey. Oh, you guys are like in the office.
We are back here, yes.
That's awesome.
What's up, boo?
I wish I was there in real life. This is like my favorite time of year, like doing the New York press tour and then going to Miami and
Are we
turning it.
Wait, are we recording? Because that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, usually the issue drops and you're like out and about and jet setting and talking that shit, and now you just got to do it from home.
Yep, sweatpants on and trying to look like.
Well, hey, that's a bonus, right?
Top.
I would imagine when you're out here, when you're out there doing SI tours, you got to make sure your hair and makeup and clothes and everything looks SI approved. At least now you can chill in your sweatpants.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Where
really
are you
comfortable.
right now?
What's that?
Where are you?
I'm in Foxborough.
Oh, you're in Foxborough.
Yeah,
Oh.
Rob and I are here. He's not officially in Tampa yet. Soon, but not yet.
You're just holding on for dear life, huh? Just squeezing out as much Foxborough as you can.
I honestly, I'm an East Coast girl. I grew up in Connecticut, so I kind of like being like having the woods and the nature and like the whole nine. Like, the beach will be nice, but this feels like home. So I have my friend's pitbull here today, so he's like, when you hear like grunting and growling.
Let me see. Can we get a little shot of him with the camera?
Hold on. This is Drake.
Drake.
Oh.
What a pup. Look at those eyes. His eyes bugging out.
I'll be honest. He's very adorable. I'll give it to you. I might have said some things recently that about dogs that I disparage dogs, but that's a cute one.
This is a good dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's really cute. Rob said if there's no football that we can have a dog.
Well,
so
does Rob think there's going to be no football?
I don't know. We really don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what? I don't trust you though. I've been trying to pump you for information for years, and you never give it to me. So I don't know what you're. I
mean, if the football players don't know, then who knows? So.
Yeah, I hear you. What would you think? Do you think there's gonna be football? Just as a guess.
I think there'll be football.
Yeah.
I think there'll be football.
I don't
think there'll be fans, but I think.
Oh no, definitely no fans. But I just don't think it's wild. But
if basketball and baseball,
if there's no
happen,
Sports Illustrated, then how is there going to be football?
That's what I'm saying.
Right? If there's no SI tour, come on, football. Who gives a shit?
So we
we
still
don't
got.
have Sports Illustrated swim.
I don't think you saw it yet. You know that we were on the wall, but we like framed it all nice and everything for you now. So,
You're kidding.
Yeah, immortalized because it was like starting to like crumple and fall over and shit. So we put it in the nice wood frame. So that was the 2019, and obviously now it's the 20 edition. Honestly, this feels longer than a year ago. What does this feel recent or a long time for you?
That news feels. I mean, I don't know. I can go back to that feeling in like an instant. It was like that. It's like that moment, you know, and I don't know if you guys have had this moment in your career.
Hey, Camille, we definitely haven't.
Yeah.
I would say you definitely had. I was gonna say, you know, when that poster came to life and KFC Radio became a thing, and it
Nope.
was so popular.
Does not compare.
Not even close, Camille. That's very nice of you to even entertain that idea. But no, we've had nothing comparable to the cover of Sports Illustrated.
I mean, you guys are one of the first places I went after.
I know, we appreciate that. Yeah, that was huge. That was actually a sign. That's how I think how surprising and how much of an upset it was that you did get the cover is that you were still talking to us.
You guys are my homies.
So this year is like another trio on the cover. Is that kind of what like they do? Is they always have the individual covers, but now they're always going to have a group cover as well?
Well, I remember. I'm sure you guys remember this too. When they had the triple cover with Lily and Chrissy Teigen and Ina.
Yeah.
And that was like one of my favorite.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite covers.
Right.
And so it was really that when I saw this cover, it reminded me of that one, and I was like, oh, what a moment to be a part of. So it was really cool. And then it's neat too that over the years I've looked up to the magazine and I've admired the girls from afar, and now they're like my swim sisters, we call it. So it's cool to know Jasmine personally and Olivia and Kate, and it's like it's just like an exciting feeling for everybody. I woke up to watch Good Morning America, and I got all the feels all over again for them. So it was,
You set the alarm?
oh yeah.
Oh no.
Rob was like, "What are you doing?"
Here, I'm
Real.
gonna tell Kevin something right now, real quick.
Oh, boy.
If you ever get like a massive thing that for your career,
You're not waking up.
I am not waking up in the morning.
I would, and I'll tell you this: I wouldn't expect you to. I'd be like, you can catch it on the DVR, bro. I mean, that's great. It's really nice of you.
It's incredibly nice of
Yeah.
you. It's almost as nice as thinking that we've achieved something as great as Sports Illustrated. I'm never gonna get over that. You're like, you guys know that moment. No, Camille, we don't.
No, we don't. How does this year feel? I mean, obviously the cover is the biggest thing, but you're involved in this one anyway. Is there like a drop down, or I know you say you're excited for the other girls, but it's got to be a little bit different this time around, no?
No, not really. I mean, to me, getting the cover rookie year is like,
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, it's kind of like, how does it get better than this?
Right. What's next? Yeah.
But honestly, like you're not promised to come back to the issue every year. So it's really one of those things that like you never take it for granted. So being secured to shoot for the 2020 issue was like, honestly, felt like a cover moment. All of my moments with SI, you guys know I like geek out. I'm obsessed. Every time I talk about it through all the years I've come on in your show, like I'm excited each time to the swim search, to getting the callbacks and making the finals, and then became a rookie, then cover. Now I'm still excited to come back as now a vet finally. So
Right, you're an OG now.
No, that one I do get because my high school hockey coach used to tell us the same thing. You're not guaranteed to make the team every year.
Exactly.
So I totally level with that.
So this year's super exciting. And yeah, I'm pumped. I'm now we don't get to do the launch in person, which kind of stinks, but it's cool how we're still doing this. They were like, you want to go on KFC radio? They're your boys. They wanted to talk about the launch. I was like, sign me up, no hesitation. I'm going
So
on.
wait, obviously you did all the photo shoot. You got that all in before Corona, I'm assuming, or I mean.
Yeah, my shoot. I actually went straight from Miami at Super Bowl, and then went straight to. The
So that was like right before. I mean, everything started to shut down around March. So you really like. What has there been any modeling, either SI or otherwise, during all this, or is everything shut down?
No, everything shut down. I mean, thank God for this being such a social media driven world that we live in now, because a lot of like I feel like marketing and like the new billboard is not even like TV or on the side of the highways. It's like Instagram.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So I definitely have been able to do home generated content for the different.
Well, I feel like that's why you're in such a good spot, and why SI like has latched onto you, and why I think bigger things are ahead. Because I think you were pretty smart and savvy about Instagram and social media, and like I feel like a lot of other girls might just rely on the shoots and they go and that's their content. And I mean, Never Not Dancing, the videos, the stories
a lot
is like
of dancing from home lately. Yeah. It's
yeah.
been a big part of
But
it.
honestly, that's as effective as a magazine is, you know what I mean? Maybe more so, because like people can see you every day, and maybe it's not the professional photo shoots, but you can get, your Camille fix 24/7.
It's cool. Yeah, it's been cool to be able to be home, because it's one of those things that I've always been like, oh, I really like, people want to know, what do I eat? How do I work out? And I've finally been able to like get on Instagram Live. I feel like everyone goes live now, and like get to kind of connect in that way. And because I'm always like on the plane, and when I'm not working, I don't really want to like get online and
right.
talk. So it's been cool to be able to do it like that. So
I actually do have a question about that. There was I don't have TikTok, so I didn't go follow you on TikTok, but there was a story you posted where it was like, go follow me on TikTok for the rest of this. And it was like, bring your boyfriend over, and if he laughs at this, he's immature.
Oh yeah.
What was it?
Oh, you didn't watch?
I because you said you made us go follow you on TikTok, and I don't have TikTok.
I'll do it to you guys. Okay, so keep it straight. Don't smile yet. Keep a straight face. Okay, so I'll like do the TikTok to you guys. All right, so bring KFC radio over. If they laugh at this, they're immature. If they don't, I say they're still mature, because just boys are immature. So you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Boobies.
I was doing all right. Yeah. No, that works.
We've always said the problem. There's a problem with like boobs and boobies sounds like weird and like a little kid, and then like tits is too immature or too like crass, and breast sounds weird. There's not a good word for this.
There's not a good word for boobs.
What do you call them in your everyday talk? If you're talking to your girlfriends, what would you say?
my boobs. Like this
Your
is
boobs.
like the boob shirt. Like it's just my boobs.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I guess
not gonna
boobs.
say boobies.
Yeah,
I'm
boobies
not
is
gonna
weird,
say-
right?
Tits, I feel like is like a guy's thing, like a
Yeah.
frat
It's
boy's.
yeah, it's over the top. It's like, all right, that's a little much.
It's like
dude.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
harsh. It's
But
like a little
that's what it's
sexual. It's like, and then, but I feel like breasts is like you sound like you're talking to a doctor.
Yeah, definitely.
So just
Definitely.
boobs it is, huh?
I think we just broke it down.
Yeah.
That's Urban Dictionary
There you go.
definition.
Boobs. So you are gonna move to Tampa? Is that the plan?
I mean, as of right now, yeah.
Mhm.
I've got a lot of work on the East Coast. It's funny to say that, but I've got actually a couple of on-location situations. So some shoots are starting to happen now, but everyone's masked up, and then I take it off and I put on the modeling showcase. But yeah, Rob will head out there next week, and then I'll meet him down there when I'm kind of done up here. But
Has the
but-
initial?
Are you guys staying with Tom and Giselle? That's what I heard.
Are we staying with them? I mean, he did have a couple of slumber parties. Yeah.
How'd that
Or
go?
down his spot, he did.
How are the slumber parties? How does that go?
I think they're like. I always ask like, "What'd you guys do?" And they're like, "We were in bed by 9.
Mhm.
Had really yummy, healthy food." I'm like, "Well, tell me about it. I'm dying to know." And yeah, he's like, "The kids are really fun. The house is beautiful." I know. I think. I think Jeter used to live there.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you see the viral tweet about that? Very funny tweet where it was like,
What was it?
it was like Tom on the phone asking Jeter if Rob can stay in his house. and then it's like Rob turning the corner in a Yankees robe with a mouthful of ice cream. What'd he say?
I didn't see that.
I do feel like almost anybody else I wouldn't believe it, but I feel like a slumber party at Tom Brady's house is like, yeah, we ate some vegan fucking healthy salad or something, and
Yeah.
we went to sleep in like our hyperbaric chambers, and
Yeah. pretty
we
much.
studied game tape, Yeah,
they wake up early. They go to they did their practice, and then I think there's a pool there. I think they do but instead of just swimming leisurely, it's like a workout swim, and then they do their treatments. and
I
it's
can
like
see
a-
that.
Dude,
Like
I would
Tom's doing like
hate that.
the breaststroke and shit, and Rob's just doing like cannonballs. Like, let's make a whirlpool, dude. Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't want to hang out with Tom. I feel
No,
that's a lot.
I mean, I would like to hang out with Tom when like Tom was like 24, like chugging beers in Faneuil Hall. I don't know
Yeah.
if he wants to make me work out while I'm swimming in the pool, I'd be like, dude, leave me alone.
You know what's going to be a sight when Tom Brady retires? Because I feel like he's going to cut loose.
You think so?
I do.
I don't think
He's
so.
not going to be like a maniac, but like he'll eat a fucking Big Mac or something. You know what I mean? He's going to have to stop with the craziness eventually.
He'd age. Tom would have one bite of a cheeseburger and he would age 50 years. Yeah. like it's all been holding up this
Just
whole time.
The floodgates. Yeah.
He looks good. Everything he's doing is.
It's working.
Yeah.
Definitively.
You don't even have to ask questions. It's just so obvious.
Right.
He's like aging backwards.
He is. He's fucking Benjamin Button. It's nuts. Has the initial, I know last time we talked, you were pretty emotional over it because it was all very new, but is it kind of just like it's settled in and now, you're going to live in Tampa. It's going to be with the Bucks instead of the Pats, yada, yada.
Yeah, I feel like it's not going to really change that much. I mean, my family's still in the Northeast, and we're not getting rid of this house anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still here. Like I said, I've over the last 7 years, I feel like New England, Boston is like my home. They're like my people. I have a lot of business relationships up here, so I'm not running away from here anytime soon. So, and then on top of it, say I get down to Tampa, but I can't even go to the games. I've got to watch from the TV like everybody else.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Like families
Well,
can't go to the games.
I'm a worker bee, and I've got a couple meetings and some shoots in New York and some stuff going on here in Boston. And I mean, LA just shut back down again, so I'm not even going out to my spot there anytime soon. So it's settled in that he's a Buccaneer. He wears like some of their swag around the house and stuff. And at first it was weird to not see the Patriot head, but I'm getting used to it now. I ordered a couple of things, so I'm getting a little bit used to wearing the red and black and white color and stuff. But
What
as far as the move, I'm not really running away anytime soon.
are your family members? Are they Bucks fans? Or are they sticking with the Pats or what? Like, where's the line of loyalty? It's like, all right, you're with him, so you're gonna have to like root for them. But would your mother, your brother, your sister, your father, do they transfer over or they stay with the Pats?
Well, it's so interesting because my dad actually, before I became a Pats cheerleader, was rooting for the Giants. And then, of course, I was getting him front row tickets to come sit and watch the games. And then he, of course, wanted me to go to the Super Bowl. So he was rooting the Patriots to the Super Bowl. So during the preseason games, like he was always torn. I was like, I'm rooting for Camille on the sidelines, but I really want my Giants to win.
Yeah.
But then he became a Patriots fan. You know, Rob started sitting down at our dinner table and, you know, he's got signed jerseys and the whole, every Christmas he's got new gear and stuff. So it's he's a Patriots fan. My whole family's a Patriots fan. But now I'm like, what do we do? What are you guys going to do? And they're like, well, when Rob plays, we'll root for the Bucks. But other than that, we're rooting for the Patriots. So
yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think you can.
I'm doing the same thing. I root for both teams.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
honestly, same.
But you know what? I feel like
I've said
like
that.
Camille,
Kevin gets so mad about it. I root for like 3 teams now. I have so many NFL teams. It's crazy.
But you know, Camille's in love with a guy, and like so are you.
So am I.
Yeah.
I'm in love with Tom Brady.
It's basically
so, like,
the same thing.
I always forget who's your team, Kevin.
I'm a Jets fan.
You even said it like.
Yeah, no, I know it. I'm very aware, and I even thought though, like I do think Sam Darnold's going to be good. I think there's a little bit of an opportunity, and then Cam Newton comes back, and I'm sure he'll be a fucking MVP candidate. And it's just like, well, never mind. Close the window again.
That video of him smoking a cigar,
that outfit
is, I mean,
Feidelberg is obsessed with the Cam Newton aesthetic.
Because I just like what
my God, yeah. You must love his swag and his hats and all that.
Camille,
He had like it wasn't like a scarf, but something was tied around his neck.
He had a sweater tied around his
Was
neck.
that what it was?
Unbelievable. Like what I do, like what I can do is judge attire. I can't judge like quarterback play. Like what the fuck do I know about playing quarterback?
I feel like you should be one of those people, like not a blogger necessarily, but when he has an outfit that you love, like you should do like the balling on a budget version and like do the split screen situation.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea, Camille. That is. Camille, here's the deal. I'm gonna definitively steal that idea.
Yeah. Here's what we do. We're gonna steal that and we're gonna give you 0%. That Feidelberg trying to be like Cam Newton. Woo, grab the hat. The hat's right there. That's a start. Oh, that's that Nick's hat?
That's Nick's hat, yeah.
I mean, Cam is like the king of hats. He's the king of.
Is he wearing a turtleneck?
Nick's got a tiny little head.
Is it what?
Wait, are you wearing a turtleneck t-shirt?
No,
it's just like a gator, like a mask thing.
Oh, I was like.
But turtleneck t-shirt is an idea. That's something Cam Newton would wear.
I got a question for you, Camille. Do I look good? First of all?
Yeah, I really like the hat. I've always liked the hat.
Okay, thank you. Second of all, I remember the first time you came on, and you were telling the story of one of your rookie photo shoots. It was like you were like topless in Bali or something outrageous. Another thing we can definitely relate to. Do you have any fun stories from this one?
Where were you in this one?
I was in the Dominican, and I'm trying to think. It's so. That was like the first time that I ever was on an on-location shoot where we were just like on this private island and I had to like change in the palm trees and everything else I was explaining to you. I like stripped down naked and was like, I'm shooting for a side. But now it's so normal. So I feel like those moments happen, but it's like now it's getting normal. Then you just kind of change behind a tree. Someone puts a towel up, you do your thing. So, I mean, I was still just excited to shoot, but I'm trying to think of anything like at the end of the shoot, it was a couple of the last shots. It was golden hour. The sun was setting, and there was this little girl who kept kind of getting in the background of the shots. And so we'd have to like move over a little bit or whatever. But she was sitting there, and she was just like admiring what was going on, and she was so excited. And it turns out I forget where she was from, but it was from another country, and she had like this beautiful accent. And I would have to say maybe she was like 7 or 8 years old, and she came up in the middle of shooting, and she was like, "Are you Camille?" And I was like, "Oh, wow. Yeah, but we were in the Dominican." Like, it was like, what? And she was like, "I know exactly what you're doing. You're shooting for Sports Illustrated Swimsuit." She was like, "I love you, and this is so cool." And I was like, "You guys!" So like, she came up, and we took like a big break, and I was just talking with her, and she was like, "Can you follow me on Instagram?" and all this stuff. So after the shoot, I ended up following her, and yeah, I keep in touch with her. But it's so cool.
No kidding.
I have behind the scenes photos, and she's like this little girl floating in the water, and it's me just like, being all like in the moment, sexual posing. And she's just like back there. And I was like, that would so be me. If that was me and watching Chrissy Teigen or Heidi Klum or someone shoot, I would have been like,
That's honestly, I feel, again, that's like the difference with you and like other models. I feel like you'd be the type, like, come over here, let's talk. I'm surprised you didn't like put her into the photo shoot. She should be on the cover with you, you know? Yeah, right. I could see that, like, that's the difference in the way you operate. Because I do think that, at least in the past, there's, you know, an air about models that they're kind of like on a whole other, they're on a pedestal and they're pretty and they're special. And I feel like you just kind of like normalize it, if you will.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, we're all human beings, you know, no matter what you do. I mean, even celebrities, you can't even be a celebrity without having a fan. Like,
yeah.
Be close to your people. I'll never understand that. So,
are you cool with Chrissy Teigen? Do you have like interaction with her, or is that just like a business
I haven't
thing?
met her yet.
Really? Wow, I thought by now you guys would be doing like dinner parties and shit. To be honest,
Chrissy, if you're watching this, I'll like. Give me my cell phone number.
Here, just read it right now, and then we'll keep this video.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Just put out your number now, and Chrissy will see it. No big deal.
Yeah.
I know. I could see like a little double date, Chrissy and John and Rob and Camille.
That would be really fun.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'd very much like to hear Rob and John talk.
I almost feel like Chrissy and Rob would be more.
Yeah. You got, and I feel like you and John would hit it off. That's fine. Right?
Yeah, pretty much. No, I'm a huge fan of Hannah Jeter. She's actually from the Virgin Islands, which is where my mom grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of have, whenever we link up or we run into each other, I actually was the catcher with one of the rookies in Miami this time last year in July at Swim Week. And we were at the Marlins game. And so I was the catcher and Brooks was the newest rookie. And she threw me the first pitch. And then after that, we got invited up to go see Hannah Jeter, who was with Derek up in the suite. And so we went up there and Hannah was, when she heard that Rob was getting a spot in Miami and stuff, she had said to me, you know, the four of us should go out sometime when you come in town. And I was like, okay. My lucky number is 2 because of Derek. I am a Yankees Patriots fan.
Oh
no!
You know this. You guys already yelled at me about this.
I'm remembering now.
I'm remembering as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
And then I love Hannah, and I was like, that would be super, super fun for the four of us to go out. So then I went home and I was like, Rob, hurry up and move to your Miami spot. Mind you, this is before the Tampa situation, but I was like, because we've got priorities. Double date with Hannah and Derek.
Yeah, you need like Rob and Camille, Hannah and Derek, Tom and Giselle, Chrissy and John. Just go out and have like a little quadruple date.
I mean, that's a wrecking crew.
Yeah, that's a squad right there.
And Ryan and Blake.
Sure, throw them in.
We got to put that in there. Ryan told me one time that he really wanted to meet Rob. And I said, I really want to meet your wife. So he said,
there you go, a little trade-off.
I was like, great.
I'm gonna go to lunch alone, just so you know, after this.
No, you can come.
No, like I'm literally gonna go to lunch alone.
I'm gonna go to Subway after this. Okay? You guys are gonna get like Michelin star lunch together. I'm gonna get a foot long by myself wearing.
And there's $6 now for some reason.
God, I just gotta get pretty and rich. How do you get pretty and rich, Camille?
I don't know. I'm like working on it. I don't have that equation yet.
That's why I love you. Well,
work your ass off and be really, really nice.
What's the latest outside of just taking pretty pictures? Are we doing more movie content? Are we auditioning? Or what's scoop?
Actually, when I talked to you guys, we've talked so many times, but that Ryan Reynolds movie, Free Guy, was supposed to come out July 3rd.
Right. Yeah, that got pushed.
That's pushed.
Yeah, December 11th. So.
Was it September 11th?
December 11th.
December 11th.
Okay.
And what else is going on?
I mean, it's weird because I feel like a lot of stuff just press pause, so it's like a weird holding pattern for a lot of people.
Yeah, actually, during COVID, it's almost been like an everyday project now. I've been hoping that it was going to start to get a little bit quieter, but I hopped on the board of this with this company that I was going to start a clothing line in LA with, but now we transferred and moved everything over and prioritized it to manufacturing masks. It's called Get Behind the Mask. And
right.
Every day we're sourcing masks to new states and new places, and now we're talking about getting them into schools. You know, at first it was the hospitals, and now hospitals are starting, luckily, to slow up a little bit with needing the masks, and then it started moving over to homeless facilities, and now we're getting them into rehab facilities and nursing homes and learning about getting them into dental offices, because now the businesses are up and running. The masks seem to be the one of the biggest things to help the spread. So that's mostly what I've got my hands in outside of taking photos from home.
That's a lot.
Like everyday thing.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I had texted you about that. That was early. Like you guys were on the masks
It was
things.
March, right away we
yeah.
got into it. I can't even believe it's already, end of July, and we're still having to.
Still not enough. It's still, it's nuts to me that, well, it's crazy that some people don't even want to wear them, but even if you do, that it's hard to get your hands on them and the right kind and the right place. It seems like something that would be an easy fix, but I guess it's not. So good on you for trying to help that. I don't know what, like, schools is so weird. I mean, I got my 2 kids and I'm like, I want them to go to school, but they're also so young that I'm like, it's not really that important yet. So why risk it? And should they wear masks?
How old are your babies?
My son is about to turn 3 on Saturday. And, yeah.
I didn't know that. Hey, you're a president.
And Shay is 4.5. She'll be 5 in December.
Oh, they are so young.
Yeah,
3
yeah,
and
they're babies.
5.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait,
trying to do Zoom school with Keegan was just like, this is silly. Like, no,
what do you even teach a 3-year-old in Zoom school?
You can't. That's the thing. I mean, what can you teach them in real life? It's like it's basically babysitting, and then they sing a song or whatever. So John's my 3rd kid. I've been trying to teach him over Zoom, but all my kids.
Like, I'll have to get him a present. Like that was like the cute. Like, are you Uncle like Bites?
Yeah, he's
like,
Uncle Bites.
Sure. Yeah. I get to be fun uncle. It's easy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It really is more like older brother. Yeah. But well, that's awesome. I mean, it's great that you're giving back and doing good stuff with the masks and whatnot. So
yeah.
Well, congrats on everything and being in the issue again. I feel like it's going to be. At what point do I like stop saying congrats? Because I think it's going to keep happening. You keep saying you don't take it for granted, but I feel like you're in for life.
I hope. Yeah. So we'll see.
All right. Well,
I promise, forever grateful. But the issue hit stands July 21st.
Okay.
So
everybody go out, get all 3 versions with all 3 cover girls.
What day do you think it is? Right now.
Today?
Yeah.
Well, today's Wednesday, but I don't know when the 21st is.
But what date do you think it is? I would not have guessed the date.
Oh, today's date?
Yeah.
July.
I was going to say the 11th.
15th?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Good job.
I just happened to look and I was like, whoa, didn't think it was the 15th.
Not even close. Did you do your taxes, John?
I have something on Friday, and I know it's the 17th. I had to do it backwards, or I wouldn't know.
I did my taxes.
You did your taxes? Did you do your taxes, Camille? I feel like people just forgot to do taxes this year. It's just like.
Well, I mean, did I do my taxes? No.
But are they getting completed?
Are my taxes done? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Right. All right, girl. Thanks so much. Say hi to Rob for us, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, I will. See you guys.
Thanks. Bye, girl.